Hey guys, this is Cody from All the Way Gray, one of the hosts of the podcast directly. This week we are going to be actually changing it up only because our guest was not able to make it. So instead, we have opted out and actually are doing an older podcast that I personally recorded when I was down in Eugene, Oregon with Tank or Deontay Wills or on his Instagram, FitZaddy. And I will link down below that in the video, my SoundCloud as well. Follow him for all your inspirational needs, and he will definitely help you get your life better and in better correction as well. He has already taught me more things than I already had an idea of. This is an old podcast about 3 to 4 months ago. So this was back in March when he was just barely starting his training before he became hired on to working with people from on Instagram with Outlaw Strength and everything else. So this is an old podcast. This is the demo episode that me and him tried out as well with that. So I will link down below as well his Instagram, and this video will include some pictures and some video as well. The video is a little grainy because it came off an old camera, so please keep in mind of that. But thank you again, guys. We will actually have another guest host. We'll have another guest on our show actually next week, and I am excited to pronounce that it is going to be a great show, hopefully, and we are going to have a little more fun. So hopefully next time Mack can join us as well with that. Currently right now he's feeling a little under the weather still. So we are going to actually continue this as well. And I'm going to actually make sure this episode uploads today. So when you guys are listening to this is a fresh upload from me personally. And I'll have some more video in it as well. And this will include some more stuff in there. So I appreciate you guys for listening to this again. Thank you again from All the Way Gray. And have a good day. All right, from Tracktown, USA, Eugene, Oregon. I got Tank right here. He goes by Deontay Wills, an aspiring physical therapist and personal trainer.
It's the introduction. I think that's throwing me off because he said we got Tank, but he goes by Deontay Wills. So
do you go by Tank or do you go by Deontay?
I don't know. I think you should do one or the other.
I say this is your choice. Is it Deontay or is
Just
it Tank?
say Tank. Just say Tank.
All right. What's up, Tank?
All right, let's start over.
Let's keep going right here.
I'll go keep going?
Yeah, why not?
All right, let's do it.
Let's just see how it goes. So you get some a little rapport right there.
Okay, definitely. Yeah. Thanks for having me, or thanks for, you fucked me up.
Oh, well, it's fine, dude. Like I said,
right. Yeah, you
podcast, it's cool. Everyone's got to get used to it.
All right, let's start it over again.
All right. So, Tank, you want to be a physical therapist, right?
Yeah.
All right, and personal trainer, physical therapist.
Hey, it's a physical therapist assistant, but okay. I'm a whisper the assistant part. It's just physical therapist assistant.
So what exactly do you do as a physical therapist directly? Like I've heard like my little sister wants to go into school for it sometimes. It's more or less like she likes understanding the anatomy of the body.
So yeah, physical therapy is just helping people walk again. You got a shoulder injury, just taking you through full range of motions, what exercises you can do or what movements you can do to limit getting hurt. Maximizing mobility, things of that nature. So. Yeah, just basically getting people back fully functional again. That's all it really is. So.
Well, I had an ex-girlfriend, actually, and she had pretty much a freaking messed up rotator cuff. And you could hear it, actually, too. You could actually hear her rotator cuff popping when she, moved it or something like that. And you'd hear her, every time you put your hand on it, you could feel it click.
Yeah.
What would be exactly doing that? Like, how would you fix something like that? You had to have surgery first, and then you build it back up, or?
So, it's a wide range of questions you have to ask before you can determine that. Was it, a previous surgery? Is it, been going on for years? Is it, do you have a tear? Is it, so you have to do a series of tests. But normally, with the shoulder injury, you got 3 muscles right there. You got your deltoids, you got your anterior, lateral, and your posterior deltoids, and on top of that, you got your rotator cuff underneath it, which is also 4 muscles.
Yeah.
So all in all, you got 7 muscles, and something's wrong, right?
You got to figure out which kind of muscle it
exactly.
is, which one's torn. So it could be a numerous amount of things.
Exactly, and then when you look at your muscle fibers, they all run different directions. They all, your back one is the reason why you can throw a hook. Yeah. That's what you use your back deltoids for, or when you picking up your groceries, it's normally your side deltoid. So it's which way does her arm hurt?
Yeah. So when you work it out, I see a lot of people do the water treatment and stuff like that. Do you do that for shoulders too, or do they have to be deeper in the water, or is it just swimming directly?
Are you talking as far as people trying to run?
Yeah. No, I mean I guess trying to run, but also the shoulder injury. Is swimming going to be the one beneficial thing for her? Because I know one of my friends, she had a bad shoulder injury too from softball.
Yeah.
And she was saying the same thing. She said that to get her muscle back in her shoulder, she was swimming a lot.
Definitely, because that's what you want to do. swimming or resistant bands.
Yeah.
Like that's normally what you use. You know, you just don't want to throw any heavy weight that can cause you to, hyperextend or, move your shoulder in a way you don't want to go. You know? So,
something that can kind of like pop out of place
exactly,
or re-injure it kind of.
Exactly, and that's why a lot of athletes actually are, like you'll see like Conor McGregor doing it. Like they don't like to run on the treadmill or run on the concrete because it is bad for your knees, especially when you're already jumping like a Westbrook. You jumping up and down 50 times, 60 times a game.
Yeah.
You don't want to be pounding your knees on the treadmill 8 hours a week too on top of that. So
I get that. I mean, how do you guys combat shin splints? Like, 'cause when I have shin splints, I'm off the treadmill for like a week and a half. I'm on the bike, I'm on the elliptical, something like that, just to keep it off. Like, are there any like remedies that will help me on that at least?
Shin splints, good stretch, definitely. Because a lot of people don't know, but yeah, you got 4 muscles on the front of your shin.
Yeah.
So you gotta warm those up, stretch them, and then a lot of it, especially when you're 150, 200 pounds. That's a lot of weight that your ankles and those muscles have to absorb. So sometimes it's just getting used to that, building up the muscle. And then also, like I said, stretch, ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen, yeah.
Ibuprofen, hey.
I hear a lot of it. People always say like they pop ibuprofen like by the handful, kind of sometimes. It can't be good for your liver, but I mean,
definitely. Don't abuse it, but if you drink enough water and eat food, definitely don't wake up. I remember I did it in high school during two-a-days when you got to lift weights. Then you got to go to practice, lift weights again, go to practice again. That wears on you on top of, I had a poor diet too, so it was a lot of days I didn't have the energy. So first thing in the morning, just to get out of bed, I'm popping 800 milligrams. Like, don't eat breakfast until 4 hours later.
Yeah.
Drink 1 cup of water. Like, you don't want to do that.
No, it'll mess up your gut.
Yeah.
Believe me, it gets my gut all riled up. It's like, especially when I take like any kind of pills. Like, I feel like if I drink any Rockstar or something like that on an empty stomach, it does the same thing too to me. My gut gets all messy and I can feel like it's like just kind of bubbling inside.
Yeah.
So I mean, for like athlete wise, where do you think it comes from? Like that high school thing, like where people like in high school they start getting scouted out that fast. Like, what do you think makes an athlete so much superior than any other player? Do you think it's all genetics, determination, or do you think it's just anything else kind of in there, or all mixed between?
I mean,
because there's got to be athletes out there who aren't as talented as the others, but their determination might push them further, or vice versa. They might be more talented, but they don't have the determination. They have unseen potential.
Yeah. So, was the question more of
like, what's your opinion on it? What do you think? Like, do you think the best athletes stem from determination, or do you think it come down from talent?
I think it's everything mixed into one, and you get the perfect concoction.
Yeah.
Where it's like the powder puff girl, sugar, spice, and everything nice. So what's good genetics with poor work ethic?
Yeah.
Or what's a great work ethic if you can't bench press 70 pounds?
Yeah.
So
like one of the Ball brothers where they can't bench press that much at all, but he still can shoot it through, just not as like pretty, I guess you could say.
Yeah, make it, and then where they don't have the strength, but you best believe like Lonzo, LaMelo, LiAngelo, you best believe since they were 3-4 years old, that's all they did though. So they put in the reputation. So whatever defaults they had or whatever shortcomings they have, they worked to overcome them. And look at them, they everywhere. You can't get away from them now.
Even Lithuania.
Lithuania.
Okay, so Lithuania league garbage.
Ooh, don't get me started on that.
We watched that game. That game garbage. Like half their stuff.
But I gotta respect the dad though. Like I gotta respect him. Like
as much as a lot of people hate LeVar, you kind of have to respect him. The dude pretty much sold the idea of his sons being these great top of the line athletes. He even himself was saying he was better than Jordan. Like, he was like, I could beat Jordan 1-on-1.
Look, only thing I know is I got my Amazon Prime account on notifications for whenever he released a book on how to make a superstar. Like, basically out of nowhere. Like, how do you have no college stats on any major level? You have no viral videos, like, but you got 3 of the most sought after sons in the country. Yeah. And possibly ever.
Yeah, true.
Like,
I mean, it's crazy to think. I mean, like you were saying yesterday, he was telling me yesterday how Michael Jordan's son played ball, but no one really cared until someone said it was Michael Jordan's son.
Exactly.
Like, legitimately, like, you had to have that gravity almost to get someone interested, but he had no gravity. He just kind of started off with just like, yeah, my son's the best. My son does buckets all day.
I mean, You have it. I don't know. It's more than that. It's more than just talk, because his sons actually can ball.
Yeah.
Like when you look at them, what they're doing, they
Well, Lonzo got drafted still, so I mean, they had to somewhat play ball.
and so like Lonzo or LeVar, so what he just basically got the perfect concoction. So basically, you got these sons who got a very entertaining style of basketball. Like that's entertaining. You pass the ball in 1 feet, then you throw it 80, like that. Like he doing Hail Marys every play is a Hail Mary. Like, and on top of that, you're very entertaining to listen to. So you got an entertaining son, or you got sons with an entertaining play style, and then you're just fireworks every time you touch a mic.
Yeah.
It's must watch TV.
Did you ever watch that interview with Kevin Hart and LeVar?
Ah, yes, great.
Oh my God, that's
Kevin
like the
Hart.
funniest
Shout out
thing.
to GOAT Kevin Hart.
Oh my God, that was so funny. Like Kevin Hart killed me in that ice bath thing.
Boy, it like Kevin Hart. See, things like that I just gotta respect. It's like he don't need a $50 million budget or nothing. He just give me a 10 tub with 35 bags of ice.
A small backdrop for like a locker room.
Yeah, we getting millions of views. That's it. That's all we need. Millions of views. 10 tub, 35 bags of ice. We making millions, people. Like, that's genius. I love it.
It is. I mean, seriously, out of all things, I mean, I don't know how you could pretty much sell your kids that easily. That's like, I don't have a kid yet, so I don't exactly think I have that drive yet, obviously. But like you said, you're trying to make your daughter great. I'm like, I can only imagine getting that inspiration to still really push.
I got a little girl now, a little 2-year-old, and every day I'm just thinking like, how? How do you make them great? Because me, where I want to be a personal trainer too, on top of a physical therapist assistant. So I'm trying to do both of those. So I'm very interested in elite athletes, so I'm getting more into anatomy and biology and things like that, especially microbiology, what nutrients you put in your body and what, can make your child brain develop properly and the most efficiently.
Yeah, like what Rhonda Patrick was saying about how you need salmon roe, and she was eating that consistently with avocados and stuff like that because it helps stimulate brain growth inside the fetus.
That's why LeVar Ball need to just tell me what was his secret. Like, please, LeVar, I'm telling you, like, pre-order. Just don't sell your book for $500.
But if you're a big baller, you can buy it.
But look, hey, true. Hey, don't get that man no idea. He about to sell it for $2,000. Fuck you, man. Thought the shoes was expensive.
It's a $5,000 book. You're a big baller, you can get it.
Wait till he write down the recipe. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
hey, pickled herring, and that's why I got all three of my sons.
Hey, go ahead. If that's what pickled herring is now, I don't even know what it is. I ain't even gonna Google it.
It's a fish. It's nasty. It's like pickled fish.
Okay, bet. If that's what it takes, we love pickled herring in this house.
Oh, so nasty. You ever had anchovies?
No, I haven't. Also,
it's like anchovies are like bad, but like pickled herring is like anchovies on crack. It's just bad in general. Everything about it's not good. I mean, there's some people who are like, "Oh, it's so good." Oh, fuck no, it's disgusting.
But if that's why his 15-year-old is driving a Ferrari right now, bet. Give me 2 slices of toast. You know what I mean? Like, we gonna get it popping. We trying to be great. But nah, as far as like the kid though, like it's very interesting thing. Like what can make like a 2-year-old grow up to be like LeBron James? Or even like, because we in Tracktown, USA. You got the great Steve
Fontaine.
Of course. So it's sitting up there like, how does that happen? How do you get a man who only lost 4 races, and all those races he lost was above 1 mile?
Yeah.
So if it goes above a mile, you ain't messing with him. Unfortunately, he lost his life in a car accident. Drunk driving.
Yeah, 75.
Don't drink and drive, kids. but what makes, and he wasn't the biggest guy and he wasn't the fastest guy, but he just ran hard. Now that was his technique. You say this is a 5-mile run? No, it's a sprint. This is a 5-mile sprint, and that's what he did. So what can make a man crazy like that? Crazy to win? Like,
I don't know. Like I know Nike did a lot of studies for this running too. Like that new shoe that came out with. I knew they were talking about like they studied people. Like they studied like the best runners in the world. And they come from like Africa. They come from like Kenya and stuff like that. And they realized like the way their lactic acids respond differently on the way their muscles are. It promotes like they hold energy a lot better, or they hold like muscle like retain. I guess I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but they are able to run longer because their body's able to hold more of whatever we need to use to run. If it's carbs, or if it's lactic acids, or if it's whatever directly.
So basically, you just need water and oxygen, and then the oxygen and the water that's really all you. I don't want to say that's all you need, but that's like endurance wise. So like lactic acid is basically when your muscles get tired and you don't have no more amino acids, so your body starts producing that and it uses that. But unfortunately, that makes you all stiff and tired. You know, so. That's very interesting though. When the shoe is supposed to get released?
Oh no, they've been released, but that's like
when did they get released?
Those Epic Reacts ones I was showing you pictures of.
Oh,
they got
okay,
the big React sole and all. They're a cool running shoe. I was looking to buy them.
What's the reviews on them?
Pretty good. They're probably pretty comfy too.
How much they charge?
Like $180.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, they better be something in it. Hold on, $180.
Well, they were dropping at $150, but they sold out and they're at $180 now.
No, that's not bad though. But hey, if it can take your whole game to the next level, money well spent.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey.
I mean, like, as much money as Nike's put into just basically like making sure their athletes are correct or make sure the shoe is correct for the athlete, it's crazy. Like, I was watching some of them when they did it for LeBron shoes. They had LeBron like test his crossover, they had LeBron test his jump, they had LeBron test his stops, stuff like that. And then when they do it, they're like, okay, we see how your foot's mapped out now, let's try messing around with this idea and put this traction pattern on the shoe. And it's like, it's kind of crazy to think every player who has their own shoe has a different traction pattern based on what the player plays like. Like Steph Curry's herringbone on his Under Armours are definitely going to stop him a lot faster than like someone else's shoe, like Harden's shoe. Harden's shoe probably slides around quite a bit.
But what about the ones? What about the dad?
Oh, the Jordan ones?
No, we talking about Steph Curry, the first one he released, the dad shoes, the one you mow the grass in. What about those? What's the technology behind those?
I don't know.
To
I
make
think
those
Under Armour
work?
just might have signed him just through the first shoe that someone
Just throw
designed. Like someone designed the shoe. Like it's Steph Curry's shoe. Yeah, it is.
It's like when you start the game, and your character is like on default.
Yeah, and you press start too many times, and you start in the game, and you just got
stuff
some
to do.
ugly-looking dude.
You just want to hoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, do it with the big head, no eyebrows.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm trying to hoop. Hey, I feel it. I feel him though. Like make his money.
No, it's crazy. I was watching because they were talking about the NBA, how Nike signed a big deal with the NBA, saying that the jerseys all now have to be Nike kind of. Like they are going to redesign all jerseys, and they're showing that, and they can't obviously show a lot.
Yeah.
They can't show that. They can show what exactly they did for training-wise and everything too sometimes as well.
And speaking of the NBA, are we not going to see that man Damian Lillard?
I'm stoked.
Versus the Miami Heat tonight?
We get to see Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers versus the Miami Heat with, I guess, Dwayne Wade sitting out, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it might kind of be a blowout because him and who else is it? Is it...
Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah, Hassan Whiteside. He's out, too. They're out for the West Coast entirely. All three games on the West Coast, those two are both out.
But yeah, it still should be a great time. We're going to go down there, great seats. We get to see that man, Damian Lillard, who's dropping, 34 a game, I believe it's up to?
34.7 average point a game.
Hooping.
Like,
Simply.
Seriously.
Simply
He's
hooping.
third in the West right now. Like, that's crazy to think. Like, Portland's killing it this much, but there's no publicity on them. Like, no one ever checks out the Trailblazers ever.
And it's pretty crazy because, when you look at, everything Oregon has to offer, and the only thing I could really, contribute or say, the reason for that is people just don't know about Oregon.
No one knows about Oregon. It's the issue. Like, it's one of those hidden gem states, kind of. Like, people don't talk about it. And
keep it hitting.
I get it. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Hey, rent already going up. Keep it hitting. I like it. Rent going up.
I like it. The cool thing about Damian is, to me, the reason I relate to him a little more is because he went to school in an area that you went to school in, too. You went to school near Ogden, didn't you?
No, I actually did a couple classes up at Weber State where Damian Lillard was balling out at.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, that's kind of cool, though. Like, we went, I got my first tattoo in Ogden. And it's like, Ogden, I mean, as much as he represents it, I don't like Ogden. It's kind of like that place.
Hey, you take the meth away. It's a great place. It's a great place to be, people. I mean, Mormons, meth, hey, other than that, it's just a great place to be.
Yeah, I know. You thought about moving up there?
On everything. That rent cheap. Hey, I grew up around crackheads. That don't mean nothing. Hey, you get the best deals from them. I done bought a ladder for $8. What do you mean? DeWalt. DeWalt. $8. Bet.
You want to buy a stereo? $10.
10.
Done.
I swear.
I bought some shoes before from a crackhead before.
Boy.
I got mugged the same week. I was like 9 years old. And I'm like, oh.
I remember growing up in Indiana, we had crackheads everywhere where, you had to name them because there was so many of them.
Do you guys give them names or do they have their own names?
Oh, you have to give them. You're not going to go talk to them. They don't take baths and stuff. They just smoke crack. So you just see, the dude, I don't know. his reach was outstanding. He should have been a hooper or a boxer. Jab would have been nasty. He could have jabbed you from across the street, but we had to call him long arms. The motherfucker was swinging in the wind every time, just swinging. Then you had One Penny Please, man. He had that dirty cardboard box. I don't know what that cardboard was made out of, but it did not wear. Like the writing was still fresh. The corners wasn't that wrinkled.
It was pristine.
It was. I don't know. I think he was finessing too, because he was a white dude in my neighborhood too, and he used to go over there and beg for money, but he used to stay by the Children's Museum, which was kind of a good part. He didn't travel too deep in the hood. He just be right on the outskirts.
Well, the Panhandle's got to find their spot. They got to work it out. They got to make sure that spot's packed enough, but it's not in the ghetto, and they got to be around I don't want to say white people. I mean, white people are pretty much the ones.
White people, hell generous.
They donate a lot more money than I would. I don't donate money.
White people the one with all the money. Of course, I'd donate money too if I had it all. Shit.
I don't do panhandling. I can't do it. I can't give money to people like that. There's too many opportunities now for jobs and somewhat. You can do temp agencies too. And
not even that. You can just do anything you want to with enough ambition and determination. Yeah. Ain't nothing you can't do. You look at YouTube right now, and the stuff that people are relevant for on YouTube is just if you go talk to the coal miners in Virginia with the dirt all on their forehead, and they living like mole rats and shit, telling there's YouTubers making $20 million laughing at Minecraft right now. That's it, just reacting to Minecraft videos. 20 million.
It's ridiculous. Seriously, some of the YouTubers, how much money they make off the ad revenue alone, it's incredible. I can see why there's so many YouTube channels out there.
I wouldn't call it ridiculous. I think it's great.
I love it. It's capitalism at its finest.
And then because it's the new job market that people are not taking advantage of, because it's only so long that humans are going to be picking shit up and putting it down.
Yeah.
Robots are going to do that eventually. Yeah. We see what they're doing. We're sending cars around the sun now. Technology is crazy right now. You think that we're not going to get robots to simply pick shit up and put shit back down? Easy. You gotta find a way to make new money. You gotta find new revenue. And then with the population and stuff, how much shit gonna need to get welded? We running out of room. We already ain't got no room for too much of nothing. So you only gonna weld, like I said, assembly line, McDonald's flip burgers. You think we ain't gonna get a machine? Even in California, you seen that one machine that they just released?
What one?
They call it Flippy. That's what it is. So it's just a robot with a spatula arm.
Yeah, I seen. Okay, yeah,
Flippy.
I saw that. I thought you were talking. Okay.
Yeah, it's coming.
Dude, robots scare me.
It is.
We grew up around the Terminator age. That was around when those movies were huge as a kid.
On everything, yeah, I remember.
That whole thing scares the shit out of me. That's how we create Skynet.
I grew up knowing about white people, so robots don't scare me too much. I grew up around a Klan. Robots sound like a welcome. Hold on, man. I don't know. I'd rather have a bunch of superficial or artificial robots, walking around.
What if there was a white supremacist robot?
It's coming.
That'd be the scariest thing in the world.
Most of the white supremacists, the one with the billions and stuff, or the millions. You know what I mean? So, it's coming. Nothing's going to shock me. Especially, we live in Donald Trump America.
Yeah.
Right now, he could tweet out a picture of Kim Jong-un butt naked and be like, this is the clown that runs your country. I wouldn't be shocked.
No, I wouldn't be either.
I wouldn't be shocked.
He calls him Rocket Man. Rocket Boy, sorry.
Rocket Man. I already know. It's they're playing a child playground bullying games with nuclear bombs.
Yeah, just giving nicknames to each other. This is Rocket Boy over here. Fuck that.
Yeah, but like I said, this is what we want. All I know is, I have to thank Trump. I have to. Because he has opened up the door for Oprah, Barack, Will Smith, and I already see what they did. We seen the Republicans when they passed in health care legislation laws, and you got the reporters asking them what was on the bill. And nobody knows.
Yeah, no one knows.
Nobody cares.
They wanted
That's what
to
we doing.
simple it down to one sheet they were talking about initially too. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, you can't put people into a small one piece of paper. Seriously, the Obamacare thing was huge. It was 5 stacks of just folders alone.
Oh yeah.
It's a huge thing. It's not just one thing where you can just simple it down to everyone does this. No, we can't negotiate everyone down just to everyone directly.
Yeah, and so only thing I know is when The Rock runs, Mr. Gaines himself,
Mr. Swole Johnson,
the demigod on Earth, say no more. Say no more. The only thing I really hope is He passed them shoes out for free.
Oh,
like, everybody should have those.
Those Under Armour trainer shoes. I love them.
Like picture what would a presidency like be if The Rock was in?
I bet health would be all time high.
Hell, what do you think would be one of the first things?
He'd be trying to get America fit again.
Like what
that's his whole thing is like America swole.
If you The Rock and you sitting in the Oval Office right now, and they like, we are the #1 fattest country on earth. What you gonna do about it? And you know it's gonna come up. Like, look at him. He probably got elliptical in the Oval Office.
No, guarantee he's got like 50-pound weight just right there. Like he just pumping iron when he's like working a deal out. You gonna see The Rock sitting in the Oval Office behind a chair with 2 big dudes behind him. Like, that's your bodyguard? Nah, those my spotters. I'm going for a PR today. His actual seat at the White House is a bench press. Like every time he gets stressed, he just throws 345s in there. What do they want?
They filibuster in another bill?
Imagine his filibusters. He'd be sitting there working out the entire time, like explaining.
There ain't gonna be no filibuster. You think you about to just talk and bullshit? Rock, he gonna get front row and just stare at you. If The Rock mean mugging you, and then you know the eyebrow, you know that eyebrow can rise.
The people's eyebrow.
Oh my god! And it's just staring at you. You gonna shut up?
He gonna get some people's elbow in the White House.
And then picture we seen like the average body type of somebody on Capitol Hill.
Yeah,
we have seen it.
Not pretty.
What is a calorie restriction?
I don't think they know what that is.
I don't think they know. If I was making what they made, I wouldn't know either. Median pay is what, 250,000?
Oh yeah, easy.
Hey, eating good. Excuse me, sir. Can I get steak with my steak? I need some lobster with my lobster.
Can I get some more butter?
That's right.
I need some butter and some salt with the steak.
Like, this is not caviar. Like,
this caviar got butter on it? What? Nothing.
But I cause like honestly, like, I love Oprah. Like, of course, what can you not love about Oprah? And then Will Smith.
Yeah.
I literally have never met somebody who don't like Will Smith, and I don't want to meet him.
I've never met anyone either.
They're probably in South Carolina. Or Mississippi.
Yeah, probably Mississippi. I bet they're in
Mississippi. Definitely. They ain't fucking, no bad boys and bad boys. Shut up. Get the darky out of here. No.
Like, was it what Chris Rock was saying? Mississippi. Mistake. Mistake.
Hey. Nah, shout out to Mississippi for being like...
behind the times.
Definitely. Like, to not progress at all. Like... But nah, I don't know. I never been to Mississippi. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a great place, you know? Only thing I know is, like, they led the nation in lynchings for, like, 80 years strong. But, hey, they can move past that.
As long as it's on their postcard, they might be fine.
But what if it is? Like, but what if
Number one things Mississippi's at have the most S's in their state.
On everything.
And number 2 is most lynchings from this year to this year.
Well, listen, this is a new smart great-granddad that taught me how to... Nah, I don't need none of that in my life, but
I mean the whole Donald Trump thing, to get back on point of that, Donald Trump, it's fucking nuts to think like we're going through a president's scandal. I know. I was gonna say like the president's scandal right now between him and Stormy Daniels.
I love it.
The fucking porn star.
I love it.
She's willing to give back $130,000 to tell what happened.
I give it away right away. His dumb ass didn't sign a disclosure form. Oh, dick pics coming soon, people. I'm putting it in the easy to flip through book too.
The Orange Puff. Like Cheeto Puff.
That's the name of the book, The Orange Puff. That's nasty because you know what he did to her. Gross.
It looked like an orange peep.
Stormy Daniels know why Melania be having that death look on her face all the time. She knows. She has been there.
The never satisfied look.
He was like, he lifted up like, here, hold my gut real quick. Yeah.
Melania texted Stormy, now I see why you don't sleep at the White House.
Mm-hmm. Like, I stay in New York too. But nah, for real though, yeah, she just gave back $130,000. For people who don't know, Donald Trump basically penetrated a porn star esophagus, and then he was running for president. So he had to had his lawyer send a paper over and was like, you know, when he humped your entire face, don't tell nobody about that. And she was like, all right, cool. He was like, here goes some money. And then she was like, all right. She went away, then looked at the paper and like, his dumb ass didn't sign it. Mr. Businessman himself. Like, I'm doing my own taxes this year, right?
Yeah.
So the top 5 mistakes, they got a little countdown, top 5 mistakes everybody makes. And like the number 1 or 2 is not signing it.
Really?
Yeah, surprisingly. But it's like it's such a common error. But it's like when you're
It's like not signing your name either. I know that's all. They were saying the same thing about tests back in high school.
Yeah.
Like the number one thing in ACTs, everyone forgets to sign their own name.
Exactly. So it's very common. So like I can't really blame the president too much. But then again, it's like you only applying to be the most powerful man on the planet.
Yeah.
And you have a wife and you have billions. I hope his prenup is great.
I mean, the only thing is, like, I don't give a fuck about the cheating, honestly. I just give a fuck about him lying and
See where your morals is at.
Well, no. I mean, to the point where it's like, yeah, I get it, he cheated. Yeah, it's fucking disgusting and shit like that. But it's like, that's just another kind of story for another kind of time. That shouldn't be, like, something to talk about 6 years ago. I'm more scared about the idea of him. He's actually, like, covering up a whole scandal right now in the presidency. That's where it's like, this man is willing to lie to people, willing to push his own narrative, willing to actually like say, no, that's not true, but there's evidence behind it. That's still not true.
What was that one chick who was the spokesperson in the House? She said it's not lies. It's alternative facts. So
Kelly Conway.
Hashtag alternative facts. Like,
alternative facts.
Can we get that right? This is America.
How many hashtags has Donald Trump started on accident, you think? Like,
I don't know. Did you hear? I was listening the other day. You did a little interview. It was like he need to basically take ownership of fake news. Like, what's that? I'll put a patent on it. Fake news. Like he said that.
How many times people have responded with that now? Like anyone, you send one thing on Facebook and it's like it goes against what they believe in. Fake news.
Exactly. It's the ultimate insult. It's like almost like the equivalent of like a racial slur in a logical conversation. Like, you know, it's just like the Joker. When you play I Declare War and you pull out the Joker and there's nothing you can do, the game is over. No. Like, that hand is mine. Like, that's what fake news is. Like, we ain't got nothing else to talk about. Like, everything you saying, fake news.
It's ridiculous. Like, I hate the idea that that he started all this shit, kind of. Like, where he just started, like, well, I don't believe in that, so yeah, no, that's not true. So it's everything he goes by is feeling based. And they were like they realized that a while ago as well, but I guess no one ever fucking believes that still. And that's how a lot of people are now. Like, everything's feeling based. Nothing's fact based anymore to a lot of people. Like, I don't feel this is correct. I don't feel that way. And it's all like, even Phil DeFranco, he talks about that. He's like, he has that shirt that came out that's kind of an insult. It's like who needs facts when you have feelings?
On everything. And not even feelings. Like, it's more of you have the internet and shit moves so quickly and spreads, so like a lot could catch on like wildfire. Only thing you need is just the right post or have the right person retweet it, and you just like I said, like the game is, or the internet is just a game of numbers, likes and dislikes. People who watching my video, people who not watching your video. That's all it's about. So whether you telling the truth or not, it's all about I got 1,000 thumbs up and only 100 thumbs down. Therefore, it's true.
Game, entirely.
So that's what it's all about. Like, I was even talking to, little kids, because, like, these little kids, I'm talking about the 8, 9, 10, 12-year-olds. Like, I was having a little debate because, I was watching somebody who was like, I was watching Jeff Nepford, actually. Jeff Nepford, if y'all don't know, is a YouTube fitness dude.
Yeah, Jeff
he
Nepford,
will change your life. Like, dead serious. Like,
right, he's the one who's got me. He's got me on a lot of regimens. Like, thinking about, he bought his back atrophy program. He said.
I'm on his back workout now. I'm getting shredded.
Like, seriously, like the guy, him and his girlfriend have both great information videos. And the thing that separates me from them is the editing, that cinematography and everything.
Hey, amazing. Editing, boy. I wonder what that market gonna be like in a couple years.
Oh, it's gonna be insane.
Like going to college and getting an editing degree. Yeah. Like, that's gonna be it's already, people making millions, but I'm like, it's like the median pay for that job soon is gonna be like 60, 70, 80,000.
Easy.
It has to be, because like it's becoming more and more important, especially when you got so much content out there. Nobody want to watch nobody with the fan blowing the whole time in the background, or all blurry. You done took it with a Nokia cell phone. You got a Nokia, bro? Not even Android.
Potato, is that what some people say?
Yeah, on everything. Throw the little potato out there. It ain't even a sweet potato. Ain't shit sweet about that damn video. Take it down.
No, I was talking to my buddy Andy about this, actually, about the Trump presidency, and it's crazy to think. So, I've been against Trump since the beginning when he announced that all Mexicans are pretty much rapists and all that stuff. Like, the illegal ones are they're rapists, they're drug dealers, and all that stuff.
But some of them are good people.
Some, yeah. No, so it was that one, and it was the idea of, what was it? He was talking about that, and then I watched a John Oliver interview where John Oliver talks about like how Trump kind of just messes everything up a little bit. How why we shouldn't believe him. We shouldn't believe him as a businessman. We shouldn't believe him as an honest person. We shouldn't believe him as a lot of these things, kind of. And it's just more or less trying to see why do we still trust this guy when we've been talking about since 2015 how dishonest, bad businessship he is and all this stuff? Because he owned how many failed businesses?
The thing is, if you look at any poll, I don't care what poll it is, no poll would say over 35 or 40% of America trust him. He got like one of the lowest approval ratings and one of the lowest, like, even Trump supporters know he lie. Oh. But it's just not a woman or a black man in the office line.
No.
So it's okay. Like, that's what it is. It's like things are back to normal somewhat because you got another powerful white man. Yeah, rich, powerful white man and in power. So it's not even about just the white man, but it's just the rich elitists. Like they, and Trump, he also talks a good game too.
Absolutely. He's one of the best shit talkers there are. Like, he knows how to swerve an argument, but that's that TV personality he has. Boy. He's been doing it for 12 plus years on TV.
He has that headline capturing ability.
It's that last name, Trump. Right. Everyone associates it to something good. And it's like, it's not good, obviously.
And he low-key a petty savage. Like, he's a petty savage. Like, I have never seen, like even like, oh, he said grab her by the pussy. He grabbed women by the pussy. I'm going to bring that up at the debate. Oh, what? I'm going to bring 2 of the women that accuse your husband of rape to my debate. Like, wow. Like, the level. Like, you go lower, I go lower. He the opposite of Michelle Obama.
Yeah, take the high road. No, he says, no, the low road's easier. Save the gas mileage.
Hey, they go under the bridge, you dig a tunnel. Fuck going under, like, you gotta go below. Like, you trying to hit magma.
It's crazy to think, like, I can name like 10 scandals in the last 2 years, and none of them have done anything for him. Nothing, but except build him up almost and stop him a little bit and build him up again, and then...
In a hypothetical situation where words mattered and actions meant something, what do you think would be the thing that brings Trump down? You think the porn star thing?
If she releases a dick pic, yes.
You think the dick pic would get him?
Absolutely, because think about this. If the rednecks realize that Trump's not holding at least over 7 inches... He's not a real man to them.
But then they be hypocrites because it's no, like, you got the BBC section on porno, but you don't got the hillbilly, the hillbilly swinging.
They think he's a real man. He's a real man. He speaks from the heart. He's a real man. That's like, okay. But you realize, okay, maybe he's holding a 2-incher with like 2 pebbles.
Bro, most people, like, we talking about like the deep in Mississippi, like the parts of Alabama you don't want to go, where like not having the Confederate flag on your truck makes you a weirdo. Like, those parts of the country, like, they're missing teeth.
Absolutely.
Like, like you I'm not saying they're all missing teeth, but at least gingivitis.
Oh, yeah.
Gingivitis for sure.
Dentists are rampant down there.
So, and most of them got guts hanging over, hanging over the belt buckle, gotta wear suspenders. And they still think they're like the most elite people on the planet.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, if I push you down 3 times, you ain't gonna get up the 4th. Like, not just because you hurt, it's just because it's so exhausting. Like, so it's like they're delusional.
What would you do? Like, since you're like being a personal trainer, what if a white supremacist accidentally hired you? Would you still, like, if he didn't say anything like white supremacist wise, would you still train his ass? Or if he said something stupid and just secluded you? Because you've seen that.
I live in America. I work for white supremacists all the time.
No, like, you've seen like those people in Preston, or you'll hear all those people all the time. Like, I hate those kind of people, but I like you. They'll always say that. Like, I hate Mexicans. Honestly, but I like you. You're cool.
I remember I was in St. Louis coming to Idaho, actually. I was on the way back to Idaho. I had to ride the Greyhound. I was in St. Louis. And I remember that because I was at the bus stop and a white dude sat next to me and I was talking to him. And we talked for like 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm like looking at my phone. You know how we do in this new day and age. Yeah. And I look over after a couple minutes of talking to this guy and realized he had a swastika right on his arm. And then I just looked at him, and then I was like, well, we've been having a good conversation for the last 4 or 5 minutes. Might as well keep it up. Right? And I talked to him, and he was a cool dude, talking about, he wasn't bad. So, as long as you show respect, you get respect. I think that's with anything in life. Yeah. So just show respect. Like, it's no, whether, like, if you believe all gay people should burn in hell, that's okay to believe. Like, it's a free country. Yeah. But it's when you go out and try to affect people and change people living situations and their lives because of your opinion, that's when it's an issue. Yeah. But keep all your, like, I got thoughts in my head that I won't say out loud. Like, I got, certain stereotypes and certain, Some stuff you just keep in your head.
Yeah, I get it.
Like, like when there's a room full of white people, they all get together. Like, maybe that's the time, like when they have that moment together. Like
when you're at your most comfortable, like I just want to be as comfortable as all those white guys.
Yeah, save that for that little backroom conversation. And don't be like Billy Bush. Don't bring a microphone on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't pull a Billy Bush on you.
Something will be a Billy Bush though. That's the scary part is when they start recording, like that Victoria's Secret thing. Do you hear about that?
What happened?
Victoria's Secret models in the back. They were singing Cardi B, and they all said the N-word. All the Victoria's Secret models said the N-word. All during the song too, and it's like people were all freaking out, and then I'm like, it's just white people being comfortable.
See, that's the problem. I don't know what white people saying the N-word when it comes to rap music. It's just like my opinion used to be like, I don't want no white person saying it at all, yada yada. But then it's like, dude, the white people who buy their music are fans too.
Yeah.
So you telling me that I gotta spend $55 on a concert ticket, then I gotta go spend $45 on your hoodie, then I already spent $15.99 on iTunes to download your album. On top of that, I've spent gas to come to your concert, and I can't rap along word for word. I gotta go, and most of these dudes, they can't do nothing but rhyme nigga with nigga. So you gotta be in there sounding like I don't even like the Sopranos on regular TV.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like,
or it just bleeps out everything.
That's foolishness. So it's like, I can't get mad at people because, like, these people are your fans. The majority of America is the white population. And that's the majority that listens to rap music. Yeah. As far as buying shit. You already know, black people, we ain't buying shit. We ain't buying it.
Like our buddy Mack and the other guys on All the Way Gray. He, since he can't be here right now, we were talking about how when we were at my house for the birthday party, was it last year? And when we were talking about that, we were saying like he was trying to sing along to Jay-Z's Story of OJ. And if anyone knows the song, I'll link it down below. Yeah. A white guy can't sing along with that song at all. Yeah. To the point where it's like rich, blank, poor, blank, broke. Blank.
Or Kanye West releasing Niggas in Paris. You can't even say the title.
No, exactly.
Or even Young Dolph.
Or Tupac, when Tupac did it too.
Yeah, or Young Dolph just released an album a week ago called Niggas Get Shot Every Day. I like, they definitely can't say that album name out loud. Like, niggas get shot every... What'd he say? Who? What you gonna... like, so it's crazy. So that's the thing about the N-word. It's I don't know. I done changed my opinion a few times on it, whether I should say it, whether that's why, like me personally, I don't say it around white people, especially because, like I said, you can't be chanting some shit, and then expect not nobody to chant the shit back.
Exactly. You can't be the one with privilege and expect privilege back.
That's like me with my daughter. That's like me every time she come out the room, I'm fuck, and then she say fuck, and now I want to whoop her ass. Yeah. Well, stop saying fuck so goddamn much.
You're right.
I understand every once in a while, but good lord, I understand because like sometimes, like said, who is that? Dave Chappelle. Who is that? Is niggas and black people. So sometimes you gotta do.
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, my fault. Oh damn, I mixed up the goats.
He's like there's a different kind of guy. He's like there's two different kind of people. He's like there's them and there's black people as well. Boy, and that's what he was joking around.
Sometimes you just gotta be nigga. Like, what are you doing? But yeah. Like some of these, like I said, especially with all these rappers and stuff doing that, I don't know, it's hypocritical. It's like, here, give me your money, make me rich, make me, get out my current bad situation I'm in, but you can't rap along to my music though. Yeah. I want you to fully support me. I want you to like all my videos. I want you to subscribe to me, but don't you better not say exactly what I say. Yeah. And you saying that to the majority of your fan base. Like you been to like a Chief Keef concert in Utah.
You have.
I went. You didn't even go with me that day.
I didn't go that time.
My mom, it was horrible. But it was all white people. And you already know Chief Keef.
I could not imagine trying to rap Sosa. Like just trying to sit there and sing with him.
Yeah, the song was called Niggas Love Sosa. Or Bitches Love Sosa. But it was like, you know what I mean? But every other word is nigga, nigga, nigga. And it's like 500 white people and it's only 3 black people in the crowd. So it's like, what you want the whole crowd to just have an awkward silence? Like you want 500 people to go silent at once?
I can only imagine Chief Keef and his little squad like seeing some white guys say the N-word and they have to react like, do we fight? Do we just sit there and nothing?
Did you see Rico Reckless? Do you know who that is? No. It's another local rapper from Chicago, and he ran up on another rapper in the gas station. He's from the South Side. All right, I don't even want to say he's from the South Side. I don't want to mistake his hood, but he ran up on the dude in the gas station like, bitch, I'm out here. And they went to throwing like wild sissy punches. Like, it was crazy. Like, they was like it was like slapping like this. Like, and I was just thinking, like, this is why people from Chicago shoot each other constantly.
They can't
like,
fight.
If they don't know what a proper jab is. So it's like, I don't think they gonna fight nothing. They ain't gonna be fighting. There ain't gonna be no fight with no rapper. There's only like 4 rappers that, you know what I mean, probably can fight.
The Game.
4 or 5. Of course, The Game. You know, you got Waka Flocka, like, his reach is outstanding, you know, so, like, it's a few, but come on, majority of the rappers 5'2", 5'4", full of codeine.
I'm not seeing Logic hands up. I'm not.
Logic?
No.
I don't even know why you want to fight Logic. I wouldn't fight Logic. I just want to, like, read a book with him or some shit. I just want to, like, no, he's just Logic. It's like...
If you could punch a rapper, who would it be? Any rapper. I'm going, what's his name? The guy who does Tiptoeing in My Jordans. What's his name? It? He got,
Tiptoeing in My Jordans?
Yeah, he sings the song. It's terrible. Riff Raff. That's his name.
Riff Raff, a bodybuilder now. He doing that WWE.
I would still give him a punch.
Hey, why? You gotta pick your fights better. His rapper's 120.
I'll take an L, no problem.
His rapper's $120 out here. Hold on. I don't know. I really don't want to punch nobody. Nobody really annoys me that much, right? Yeah, he disrespect Tupac. Come on, Mom. He'll need an orthodontist right now. Like, you needed the dental work anyway.
Saying Tupac is boring. It's going to get your hands.
All right, yeah, so it's not even saying Tupac is boring.
The way he said it, too, kind of.
And like the culture appropriation is like, you can't dress like us, talk like us, move like we move, do what we do, but then you want to be disrespectful to the pioneers that's allowing you to do that. Like, I'm sorry, but if you would have left Steve or so, like Steve and Bill and them, they're not rapping like that. They don't have the swagger we have. Like, you're greatly influenced and you're in our culture and you're not showing no respect. People, like.
Obviously, you could probably fuck up Lil Xan.
I wouldn't even fight Lil Xan. I just all open hands, just front back real quick, just like sit down, young man, because he's a young kid and he's making mistakes, and that's the thing about. Like, this day and age, that's why, like, I don't hold nothing personally, but I ain't fucking with him. But personally, people ain't got no room to make mistakes anymore. Nah. There's no more you just got drunk or you just got high or whatever and said some stupid shit.
There's no buffer anymore like that. Yeah. Like, you can't say, I was drunk last night, that's why I said it. And people say, oh, that's where your sober thoughts come out.
Because like, you remember like when you got like smacked by a girl or you got embarrassed, went through some embarrassing shit, 20 people saw you.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. You know, or you got beat up after school. What? 30, 40 people saw you. Nowadays, you get beat up after school, 2.5 million people are going to see you.
It's not like a small little person, like a little environment thing. Kind of. It's more or less, it's the world now can see what you've done.
And you can't make mistakes and learn from them anymore. No. Like, you make mistakes and get destroyed now. Like,
do you ever see the guy who got caught with his side chick and he took his baby mama's EBT card with his side chick? So he was shopping with the EBT card with the side chick, and his baby mama was in the same grocery mall too.
What was he buying?
Oh, he was buying his food for his girlfriend, his side chick.
For the girlfriend and side chick?
No, he was buying for the side chick. He bought a whole thing of groceries for the side chick with his baby mama.
And they got the EBT. Then they had hot Cheetos and honey buns on the aisle. She's like, "Who this bitch?"
Oh yeah. Oh, the woman freaked out. Like, "What the fuck you doing?" And the guy's like, "I don't have your card." And she's like, "Where my card at?" He's like, "I don't have your card." She's like, "Where my card at?" I was like, "All right, here it is."
Yeah, that just sounds like a whole bad situation, top to bottom. They probably both smell like Newport cigarettes, fucking stale weed. Like, in there scrapping over the EBT card. I'm done. But yeah, man, it's crazy times we in, man. It's crazy times.
You can't mistake what you say. That's the scary part about it. Because if you mess up anything, you can't use the "I was drunk" statement anymore. That's why I said it. And it's like, I just said dumb shit when I was drunk before. They didn't fucking mean. Of course you do. You're fucking drunk. Or if you get if you do anything like something like that where it puts your mind under something like that, you're gonna say something stupid. Like Lil Xan, obviously. Lil Xan is not sober ever. Yeah. Like, that guy is always on something. Like, he's always rapping.
And also put it in context. Like, Tupac died in '96, and Lil Xan is 21 years old,
so
which
he
means
born like '96, '95.
Yeah, you know, because I'm 24. I was born in '93, so yeah, he's born in like '96, '97, like the year Tupac died or the year after, some shit like that. So it's like, he probably don't put it into context. So like, Tupac to me, it's like you hear like a song like "Dear Mama" or a song like
Brenda's Got a Baby.
"Keep Your Head Up," talking
Changes.
about like changes. You know, talking about like black oppression, police brutality, things poor people through in the hood been through, and then you just saying that's boring. Basically, fuck all that shit. Fuck y'all struggle here, but let me talk like y'all, dress like y'all, act like y'all though. But fuck everything y'all going through. And that's why people get mad at like the Miley Cyruses, at like the Post Malones, you know, with the.
Do you think Post is culture appropriating?
It's a white dude with French braids and all gold chains.
But he doesn't rap. He's not a rapper. He's a musician. He says.
I ain't rap. You can't. They didn't rap. He's
Psycho
a rapper.
ain't really a rap
He's
song.
a rapper. Who don't classify him as a rapper outside himself?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I Fall Apart isn't a rap song.
Oh, he definitely does different stuff, but we know him as a rapper. We know him from White Iverson. We don't know him from a country song.
I Fall Apart is pretty big right now. I Fall Apart's like one of the biggest songs right now. That's not. I'm just saying. I'm not saying like he might not be culture appropriating. I'm just thinking like I like Post Malone to the point where it's like, you know, I can see him as his own artist. I can see definitely he took the influence from black people. Definitely, I could definitely see that. I
forgot what he said. He said something. I don't know. That just got me like, oh yeah.
But I don't think if he is doing.
But he makes great music. I fuck with Post Malone though. He makes great music. I fuck with him. Yeah, he's definitely a musician though, but he's a rapper though. But he's a musician on top of that. He's definitely a rapper.
I mean, what about artists like plagiarizing? Like we just found out yesterday, kind of like how Doobie ended up like you thought he was saying you thought Doobie, he's this rapper we listened to. He has a song called Breakdown, which was Tantric song back in like 2006.
Come in, I know the breakdown.
Exactly, exactly. Like imagine that, that's kind of like a plagiarized thing almost. Like, you know, he might not clear out Tantric, but it's a small hidden hit. I mean, no one's gonna notice it ever.
People have been doing that since
Elvis. Before that,
before Elvis, Elvis just probably became the most famous from stealing people's shit. But you know what I mean? Like, even if you look at back in the day, he had the one singer who used to go Tutti Frutti, Juicy Fruity. Was that Little Richard?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but like it was a time where he had that song that was number 17 in the country, and a white dude took the same exact song, lyrics, beat, everything, sung the exact same song, and he was number 3 in the country at the same exact time. Yeah. Like they both were on the Billboard's top 100 charts.
Yeah, it's like, subtle. It's kind of like subtle. Happening. It's subtle racism in a lot of things, like even names.
Oh yeah.
I was reading actually a little thing about that and how like people with unique names, they have a harder time getting a job. You know, that had the exact same resume with someone who's got a normal name. Like they did a survey actually. I think it was, I can't remember, it was on the East Coast somewhere, Midwest. They were talking about how when they did this. They were talking about when they did this initially, they ended up checking out the resumes of multiple people as well. They did the resume of a woman named Unique, actually, and a woman named Amy. And when
her name Unique?
Yeah, her name Unique. So they had the exact same resume. They did it as a test. So they did 2 resumes the exact same way. And the only difference of it was the names. One was Unique and one was Amy. Amy got the call back. Unique didn't. So it's more or less that subtle racism to the extent of like even with you, have you ever had issues? Do you think with your name, Deontay? How it's spelled a little bit differently?
I was a big black dude with dreadlocks and tattoos, so maybe it was the name.
I mean, well, my name's spelled differently too, but then again, people just think I'm kind of like, oh, he might not be from America.
But you know, the thing that we need to do about that is we need to start our own stuff. That's the thing that black people, Mexican people, whoever got to say. Like, if you want to be a part of like the white culture, or you know, like that's what America is. You know, it's the white culture. If you want to, you got to abide by their rules. If not, we got to start our own company, start employing our own people. Reason why people who don't, because people empathize with people who look like them, and you know they can relate to. Like Bill. Oh, I know a Bill. Bill needed a job. You know, and Bill, he was a hard worker, but nobody gave him a chance. Like he can relate when he sees Steve's name on that thing.
Yeah.
DeAndre. I don't know no DeAndres. I don't know shit about them. Never met one. Nope. Here, I know Steve though. I don't know anybody. I feel like I know Steve though.
Yeah.
Same way. I kind of tell people like picture if you walk outside and there's 2 people getting jumped right now in 2 separate areas, right? You got a white dude. Say you got a white dude who, or not even a white dude. Say you got a North Korean or a South Korean getting stomped out. Boom, you know. And then on the other side, you got Navajo getting stomped out. Who you gonna run to first? You only get to pick one to go help. Who you gonna run to?
My people are already gone. I gotta help mine.
Exactly.
My people are a lot less than any other race, really. I mean, out of all like races, I mean, Native Americans are pretty much the most fucked out of all of them.
Like in the same way, if I see like a white dude getting jumped, and then I walk down, I look at a dude with like dreadlocks and tattoos, he getting jumped too. I'm like, you probably got a Confederate flag.
you might have said something before.
What did you say? I'm gonna go help this guy because I can. It's just me personally because I can't empathize. So that's the same thing that happens when you apply for these jobs. You got, you know what I mean? That's what you up against basically.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to have like someone's like real like a really unique name hit that kind of platform almost. You know. I think it'd be kind of cool actually to see like was it?
We got Meta World Peace out here. Quick
like Max O'Cream. So I mean, like Max O'Cream was more or less. He's got the name Mack. It's like his dad's from like some other country. I think in Africa is what they were saying, and he was his. You can't pronounce his name ever if you wanted to. It's like
Mack sound like the character you unlock on Mortal Kombat.
Honda from Street Fighter.
The Mack, that nigga sound like the ninja. Air Mack's long lost brother and shit.
No, I was trying to think exactly of like. Since we live in, like, where Nike is founded, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that benefits the Ducks in a lot more ways than any other team? Like, I mean, Alabama obviously doesn't need the help, kind of. Alabama's got the money.
It's simple, bro. Black people love shoes. It's simple. We love good shoes. That's why we shoot each other every year when the Jordans get dropped. Like, we love shoes, yes. Huge. And then also, you know, damn near all the athletes are black. At least the ones in the sports that's important and shit.
Except Ricky Rubio. I like Rubio.
Oh, Ricky Rubio. Shout out to Ricky Rubio.
Give him and Gobert a shout out.
Hey, he hooping.
I'm a Jazz fan, though. Low-key still.
You a Jazz fan?
I'm a Jazz fan. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that because no one likes the Jazz.
Hey, you know, I'm from Indiana, but...
Are you a Pacers fan? I thought you were a Lakers fan for some reason because you told me a Lakers fan a couple weeks ago.
No, I'm not a Laker fan, but I'm a fan of them, though. But I'm not like their fan. But
who do you think your favorite team in basketball, then? Is the Pacers?
Yeah, I always go for the hometown teams, you know, because, you know, unless
you're from Ohio.
But I live here now. I live here now, so I'm a Trailblazer fan. Fuck you mean? 34 points a game. Let's go, Lillard. We getting them buckets tonight. Buckets.
I cannot wait. I bet he's going to score more than 34 points tonight. Guaranteed.
He has to. Who guarding him?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, he has to be hooping on that. There is no one guarding this motherfucker right now.
And they don't got nobody in the paint. Like, Whiteside, I thought he was playing. He's a problem. Everybody else are babies.
Yeah.
They're going to get moved
Whiteside
around.
and Dwayne Wade out of the game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. And the thing is, we got lower bowl tickets right before Damian Lillard started picking up and before Dwayne Wade got traded. I wish I could see Dwayne Wade. It's probably be his last year or something like that, but oh well. But
I hope I see Gabrielle Union. I just want way better, at least.
Who wouldn't want to see Gabrielle Union?
Hello. I'm lying. I wouldn't say hello to her.
I've always had a crush on her. Ever since I've seen her like in movies like that when I was younger. Like they had this movie.
I better Bring It On everything. I love her and Bring It On. I've been loving her since Bring It On. I swear to God.
In the Grange War.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Don't forget the Bad Boys. What is that? Bad Boys 2?
Yeah, Bad Boys 2 where Will Smith starts dating her in the movie.
That's when I became a bigger fan of Will Smith. Like, he winning all the time. Even in the screens he picked.
You see Martin Lawrence came out with a new stand-up?
Nah, I didn't.
Yeah, he came out with stand-up like a year ago.
Nah, I don't know why I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's small stand-up. It's not as good. It's not as good as
Martin Lawrence was never really good at stand-up to me. Like, he got, because I got 2 of them, and then it's, like, a lot of cringe-worthy parts, and I'm like, ugh, trying a little hard.
Well, Martin Lawrence was one of those guys I know you loved, but it's like...
Yeah, he's a pioneer.
He had one of those things. He's very controversial. He does a lot of things that are very controversial, like waving the gun around, or going on SNL. Did you hear about that on SNL?
Ah, yeah.
Oh, my...
But nah, I think he's a better actor than, like, a stand-up comedian, if I had to compare them side by side, because, like, The Martin Show, one of the greatest sitcoms ever released.
Yeah, I agree.
One of the greatest. Like, so creative. Can play, like, 8 characters at once. Like, come on. But, yeah. I ain't hear about that, though.
No, I think you should check it out. It's all right. It's not
I will,
great.
for sure. I will.
I mean, he's definitely not, like...
He goes, yeah, you downplaying the hell out of it. I don't want to check it out now. It make me sad.
Like I said, it's good. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, like, you can tell he's rusty. That's the way to say it. I mean, he definitely needs to revamp himself a little bit more, and maybe his second will be a lot better because he finally gets back into his creative flow a little bit. But you can tell this one, he was like talking about him waving the gun around, him talking about like his whole struggles and stuff like that.
What we need to do is next time you down here, it's a lot of local comedy clubs. We low key, cause I ain't never been to one.
I still want to try my stand up out.
Yeah, and everything. We need to go, like, especially because, like, me and you, we both want to do some type of little stand-up. Yeah. So, like, let's go see people out there. That's why I respect anybody following their dreams, whether they not funny or they not the best or whatever. As long as you're doing it.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing but respect it on everything.
You gotta at least push yourself.
Because you can't get better if you don't try. And none of us don't try, so we ain't gonna never get better.
Yeah, none of us practice anything anymore. Like, I mean, some of us do some things, but it's like if you really want to get better, you have to practice. You have to push yourself. Some people just think, if I do it once, I'll be good at it again.
We do enough to be alright.
Yeah, it's
nobody want to be great. Nobody want to be great. Everybody want to be alright.
Like we watched that video a couple of days ago of Derrick Rose doing layups in the court, and the one guy, it's just sad seeing Derrick Rose.
Getting reps in. Yeah. So sad.
Like, no, fuck you.
It's like Timberwolves.
He might be practicing as a weak hand, or he doesn't know how to do this part better. He wants to get better at it.
That nigga gonna say it's sad. That man making more money than I'm gonna make in 5 lifetimes sitting on the bench from Adidas.
How big is that contract again? It was what, $20 million a year until 2021 or something like that.
It's way past my finesse and understanding.
Like Derrick Rose doesn't need to retire. He don't need to. Like he got so lucky on that contract at Adidas. His brother's good. His whole, just
that boy got his brother making $300,000 consulting. Consulting doing what? Stay. I know you ain't got no kneecaps.
Do you like those
shoes?
Keep playing. No. All right. You don't like them.
You ain't had
that's the consultant part right there.
You ain't got an ACL, a MCL, a LCL, but hey, keep hooping. We gotta get this money.
Is LCL a real thing?
Yeah.
What the hell is an LCL? I've never heard of that.
So those are basically like your tendons that's like holding your knee together. So that's why like when they snap, like you can't move. So yeah, that's all it is really.
I've never snapped anything. I mean, I've tore a little bit of my Achilles, and I was out for like soccer when I was younger, but like it wasn't anything big. Like I must have just strained, is what they were saying, something like that. I've done that, and I popped my sternum. That's the only thing I've really done.
Yeah. I'm lucky enough never have any real injuries or anything like that. But a lot of people do.
I remember when I watched you play football back in high school. You tried cornerback. You fell down because you got a Charlie horse in your thigh.
Oh boy, that Charlie horse, that felt like something snapped.
I remember that because you fell right on the ground. As soon as you jumped up, you right on the ground.
And that goes back to just poor diet, poor nutrition, not drinking enough water, not eating.
I know you always
enough
had candy in your pocket.
Always had candy.
Always had candy.
I think it was more of my. I think it was more nutrition because like I was eating like fast food, not enough electrolytes. I wasn't. Things of that sort. Like I know I definitely wasn't watching my water intake at all. Like, and I was drinking Mountain Dew. It was occasionally I go play video games.
Yeah,
and I used to come over your house. Yeah, you kept a Mountain Dew.
I
remember
12 ounces a day minimum.
You was the worst. Days. Every time I came over your house,
I had a 64-ounce Mountain Dew. Everything. I was so addicted to that stuff.
Hey, yeah, I remember.
It was just bad. Just the point where it's like I kept drinking it with every meal. I drank it with like breakfast. I drank it at lunch, dinner, snacks between. Walk around town, go uptown, go see the cars. Oh no, gotta have Mountain Dew with it. No water.
Yeah.
Like, it's all sugar. And like your pee would be like a dark yellow and be like, oh, weird.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about your whole little transformation. Speaking of Fat Cody, that's all about. I'm sitting here with new Cody. I'm like, do y'all know Fat Cody? I don't know if y'all know Fat Cody. I remember Fat Cody.
I'll post some pictures. It's definitely not glamorous.
It's a whole new man here, bro. I'm proud of you on everything.
I'll link down on my Instagram on that because it was a big transformation. I hit my 1 year mark about 10 days, 5 days ago almost.
Yeah, me and my girl, we still be talking some days and we be like, I can't believe Cody actually stuck with it. I'll be like, hey, sometimes people, they know when it's time to make a change and they know when they want something.
It's when you get scary news. What it was for me when I got that news, like you're on the verge of being diabetic. I was like, oh.
On everything.
And I'm like, that's what kill my grandma. That's what kill like a lot of my family. Like, I do not want to be that young already. I don't want to be 23 years old. I don't want to have diabetes already at this age.
Boy,
like,
insulin shots.
Obviously, it's not. I get it. Some of my friends actually had diabetes. Like my buddy Nick, my buddy Chandler, they have diabetes, and I get it. But it's like they can't stop it. Obviously, this one.
But you
if
can.
I can, they got the type 1.
Yeah, you can't stop type 1. I was gonna say type 2.
Type 2 is the one I was worried about because that's the one that killed my grandma and stuff. So I'm like, it scares me because like imagine being 23 years old and you could have prevented this, but you just didn't do it.
Yeah, and then it was a nutritionist I was just reading. I forgot his name or her name, but she was saying how if 80% or if everybody who was type 2 diabetic would just exercise regularly and eat a good diet, 80% of them, their type 2 diabetes will go away.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Simply exercising and eating right.
80%. Helped me. It changed my whole lifestyle to the point where I see things differently. I react differently on some topics. And working out gets you in your head, too. Like, when you start working out, you start thinking out.
But what kept you motivated, though?
What kept me motivated?
Yeah, because everybody, I work out regularly and things like that. Sometimes you just want to grab an Oreo.
It sounds very selfish, but ego. Ego definitely kept pushing, but it's like I don't think it's a bad thing to the point where if you have a lot of ego to it and you start really pushing yourself, like I want to look better, I want to look better, I want to look better. It's
whatever,
exactly whatever drives you. I mean, I only say it's because there might be someone out there who listens to this that might feel the same way. They don't want to say it. I'm like, I'll say it to the point where it's like, I wanted to look better, and guess what? It made me feel better too.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Say that loud and clear. I want to look good, and girls like when I look good. My mom say I look good when she see me.
People think, oh my god, he's arrogant.
Like, nah, it's good. You look good, you feel good. It's simple.
Exactly.
Like,
eat broccoli once a day.
What dude woke up with an 8-pack and just looked in the mirror and was like, I hate my life.
It was also that, and also I was manscaping one day and I had to move the gut. And I was like, oh, that was it. That was also a big movement. Like, okay, I need to shave.
The kneecaps started disappearing.
Oh my goodness. I had to move the gut to the manscape. It was like, this is where I need to start losing weight. It was that moment. As soon as I hit that and the pre-diabetic thing, I was like, it's a combination of two things I love, my life and sex.
Whatever's your motivation, let it be your motivation. I like it. And me personally, because I actually got it was a time when I was working at Trails West, working long hours, eating a lot of food, and then I switched over and started working at Convergence, sitting down and stuff. And I gained, I want to say at least 30, 40 pounds, and it was not muscle, it was not working out.
The thing about that is, though, is like when someone like you or my buddy Mack, if they gain any weight at all, you guys can't tell as much because you guys can hold it with a beard. I can't grow facial hair, so my double chin was prominent.
It was.
It was very my neck looked like Ihana's legs. It looked like Jabba the Hutt.
I never wanted to see you look down.
No, I didn't want to see myself look down. The worst part is when I opened my front-facing camera on my phone. It was ugh.
On everything, you gotta find that angle here.
My angle way up high, my neck stretched out.
But look, you didn't have drones back then. You just sent that cell phone up here. Sent that drone up here. Take it from up there. But
it was bad to the point where I really needed to lose the weight.
And make a change.
And the day I realized I lost a lot of weight was the day I went to the grocery store and I ran to my mom. She didn't recognize me.
Yep.
My mom said, I didn't recognize you. I'm like, why? She's like, you just lost so much weight in your face.
On everything.
I'm like, thank you. And she's like, yeah. She's like, and that's where she started working out, and my little sister started working out, and now Mack's working out, and I have my buddy Tyler working out.
Hard work spreads.
Exactly.
And especially when you see them results too, on top of the hard work.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I have no problem. Like people say, like, what'd you look like before you started losing your weight? I have no problem showing that anymore. Like, it's disgusting, but it's like, I was disgusting. I won't deny it.
Yeah.
It's like I've upgraded in a lot of ways, like to the point where it's like working out has associated itself to me with success in a lot of ways, because as soon as I started working out, that's when I got promoted in my job. And when I started promoting my job, I started working harder. And when I started working harder, I realized I got to keep adding that workout to it to get my determination up in my job too.
And I realized, like I said, I've been knowing, we met when we were what were we?
16?
About 16.
Yeah, something like that around there.
Probably 15, because you always lived across the street from Manny. And I first came to Idaho when you was 15. Did I meet you the first time?
Yeah. I met you one time. I think it was 15. No, I met you with your dad at Chevron when he worked there.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's the first time I ever ran across you when we were 15 years old.
I was really skinny back then too at 15.
Yeah.
I was from 15 to 23. I was skinny and I gained 120,000 miles.
But me personally, knowing you for we pushing a decade, knowing each other now, and one thing I have noticed is just especially your conversation is just so much more positive.
Yeah.
Like you just happier all around. Like no matter whether you're talking about like girls, your job, whatever. Like at first it didn't matter. You'd be talking about puppies. I'm gonna kick that puppy. That's what you would say. Straight up. You'd be like, there's a cat. I would cook that cat. You'd be like, damn, what's your aggression?
I was just an angry guy back in high school too. Like that's the reason I got kicked out of Preston High my sophomore year. It was stupid of me to do anything like that.
And then I remember you telling, because you have told me this story before, and I remember you was proud of it.
Oh yeah.
Fuck that motherfucker. He deserved it. I'll do it again. Like
now, in retrospect, you throw a wrench at me, I will swing no matter what, and that's what happened.
Hey.
But I shouldn't have caused it in the first place.
If you could dodge a ball. Or you can dodge a wrench. You dodge a ball. Fuck you mean?
No, I got in trouble for that, and then the second period, I had another kid. His name's Cody as well. He looked. I was dating his sister at the time. Well, I guess not dating. We were just messing around. It was back in high school, and he looked at me, didn't like me at all. Turned his head and said, "Why don't you go dance around a fire, you fucking savage?" And so I picked him up and threw him across the desk. It was just it was simple as that. Like, okay, that's it.
Very nice.
And so I'm like, I felt like I was in the right for that.
I won't blame you. You didn't do nothing, but just like, here, you need to go over there now. I feel you. Like, here, you right here. I don't want you right here, so I'm just gonna put you over there. I feel you.
It was just ignorance at the point, and so I shouldn't have probably swung at him. As soon as I threw him over the desk, I immediately started running across the desk trying to get to him.
Yeah, but like, I don't like you over there either. Here, I'm about to move you again. Like, here,
I was gonna start throwing him around and everything. That's why I got kicked out of the classroom.
But me, like, personally, cause like that, when I was working at the call center, I'm putting on weight now. My girl was, I had a couple little comments here and there, like, oh, you ain't been working out, or people call you hint, and none of it mattered until I went back home, and then my mama was like, she seen me and she was like, oh, you eating real good down there, huh? I was like, and I had the wife beater on too, the white boy. You already know how that looked with the gut.
Like Sam Jackson and Black Snake Moan.
It's like poorly cooked oatmeal in a tight bag. Like, you know what I mean? So, and that was my change, me personally, where I was like, that I can say that was really the time where I was like at least going to the gym 2 times a week. I wasn't where I was at now, but that's at least got me to be. Got
you into the gym at least.
Yeah, and then like I didn't really have nobody to lean on or anything, because Courtney, we didn't have the same fitness goals basically. So like, I can't be on her regimen. I don't want to run on the treadmill every day for 20, 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
That wasn't fun to me or whatever. So it took me a while to put together my own regimen and get comfortable.
Yeah. Now you're in Tracktown USA though. You're going to have to start running a lot more.
We about to, right after this podcast, we're going to go ahead and throw on the shit.
We're going to go on that same jog that Peter LaFonte did. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to be kind of cool. That's historic to the point where I want to record it. I'm going to put it in at the end of this video too.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. We went there yesterday, took some great pictures. Definitely gonna have to post those.
Oh, they're gonna be on this video too. Everything we took yesterday will be on this video too, including some pictures of your daughter as well with that. Just kind of like duck photos and everything. For sure, yeah. You already know, it's family out here, man. Whenever you in town, definitely. The whole culture around here is just different compared to Idaho, especially. Like you live in Idaho for how long?
I lived there for like 5-6 years. Or nah, I'm lying like a motherfucker. I moved there when I was like 16. I moved out when I was like 18. So it was like 2 years, year and a half. Like,
you lived there for a while, but you lived in Utah, which is right next to Idaho.
Right next door.
You lived 30 minutes away from Idaho.
Yeah.
To the point where I worked, I after I got off work, I'd sometimes just come over to your house. Consistently. We did that a lot, and it's like, just Idaho is just a whole different kind of thing. So is Utah though. Utah and Idaho are just different kind of states.
Idaho is one of them states. You got a house there. You got family there. So let me shut up.
Go ahead. They know about it all.
I was gonna say the ocean can take Idaho. We ain't gonna miss it. We gonna be like, what state is gone? When did they become part of the union?
I feel the same way about Wyoming.
Wyoming, yeah.
Just hate Wyoming. There is nothing appealing to me about Wyoming at all.
If Louisiana wasn't like especially Baton Rouge, a lot of great rappers are coming out of there right now, like the Kevin Gates, NBA YoungBoy. So if it wasn't for them, I would say throw Louisiana in the ocean.
By the way, just saying the hashtag free YoungBoy.
I'm just
free YoungBoy. Gotta free him.
That's the thing, though. He's one of those examples. He's a young man who potentially millions on the table, make mistakes, could go away for a long time, but. That's the thing, though, man. You got to live and learn.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
I mean, with that, do you ever like if you had a son, do you fear the same thing, like growing up, like raising him, like kind of in that situation? Because like Chris Rock was saying, like when you get black son, you have to punch him. Like, do you think you're scared, like if your son turned out like NBA YoungBoy to the point where he was like literally gifted, but he kept doing dumb shit with it?
It's different scenarios, because I'm a big believer in you're a product of your environment. Like humans are very adaptable. Yeah. That's why we're like, you look at it from like an evolutionary standpoint. Yeah. Like when some new shit, a new threat come in, you gotta adapt, or you're not gonna be around. Yeah. I'm not talking to you. If any of your ancestors, when the settlers first came here and they was fucking shooting everybody up, slicing, cutting everybody, if they didn't adapt and somehow make a way, I wouldn't be here talking to you. Same way with my ancestors. When we on that dirty ass ship, you know what I mean, on the middle passage. Boy, you gotta adapt. So, and that's the same way when you're thrown into like the south side of Chicago. That's a war zone. What you gonna do? Everybody shooting. You can't trust nobody.
Yeah. You
gotta adapt, so it's like, that's what happens. So, but I know me personally, as far as like raising, because I have a little girl, but I do hopefully hope to have a little son. But my fear is a different fear. Like an NBA young boy, when you look at like extreme poverty and you look at like the crime rates shooting everywhere, drugs is rampant, all that, it's craziness down there.
Do you think if he moved out of the hood, do you think he would have been a better situation, or do you think it was just kind of him hanging out with people from the hood still that kind of caused this? Because like you hear the saying, like, you can get out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the person.
Yeah, because the thing about the hood and any bad place you grow up in, it traumatizes you. Like, people always talk about, like, war veterans and stuff, but what about the 16-year-old who got two of his dead homies that he just watched bleed out? You tell me that's not traumatizing?
Even when I still catch myself doing it too. At nighttime, whenever I'm walking around at night, I immediately, I know exactly, there's a possibility I might have to get in a fight tonight, or I might have to survive some way. Like, I think that way consistently still.
Because most people ain't never been punched in the mouth.
No one has, right?
And if you ain't never been punched in the mouth, you don't know how bad it sucks to be punched in the mouth. And you don't want to get punched in the mouth no more.
Or if you get knocked out, it fucking sucks. Like, you don't realize it. When you wake up without your wallet, you're like, what the hell happened?
You don't want to go through that again. So all your senses is alert. Like, your body, like, if this keep happening, something happen to me. So just something mentally happening. Like, I ain't gonna let that happen again.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's the same way.
People around here all the time, and especially in Utah, like in Logan, people walk around at nighttime, and they're like, the first time I came up here, I'm like, you don't go out at night. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, do you have your knife? Do you have a gun?
But but back to like the raising the kid situation, like, so like you got all those circumstances against him and a lot of young disenfranchised youth. And so, but my worry, because like, of course, like Eugene, this is a pretty great place to live and everything. So I got a whole different worry now, so I'm more worried about like that subtle racism that you can't see, or, and Oregon got its history too. It's a great place, but like, it has a history of racism too, like every other state in America, so, and you got to prepare your kid for that. You got to like, if he's in a certain situation, somebody try to belittle him or down talk him a little bit or try to make you feel like less of a man, how you gonna react to that? Are you gonna fold up, quit your job, or you just gonna let him keep doing it? Like, you got to teach him how to navigate through a world that's ran by people that don't look like us and that don't relate to us. That if you ain't catching the ball or you ain't rapping and dancing and entertaining me, what's your purpose? Yeah. I don't really know why you here for. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, how do you prepare them and get them those necessities that makes him an asset in America, where a police don't see him and think he can just shoot him down?
See, that's what scares me. Like, I think about that too, because like, I'm not obviously full brown. I'm half Navajo, half white, and so I'm always scared. Like, if I have a kid with a darker skinned person as well with that, or if some of my own race as well with that, there's a possibility that they might be pointed out different. Like when I was in school, when I was a young kid, we went to the Mormon church for the first time. I got called a Lamanites. Now, what a Lamanite is in the Mormon church, they said they had the two tribes from Israel. One are Nephites, one are Lamanites. Nephites were the holy ones, and they got killed out by the Lamanites. Lamanites traveled from Israel to North America and became the Native Americans. When the Native Americans came out, that's why they think, oh, okay, Native Americans are Lamanites. And now the story goes, apparently they became more holy or more pure than the Nephites, but that still didn't stop them from calling me Lamanite directly in Sunday school when I was a little kid. I went to Sunday school, and I remember they pointed at me and they pointed at Tommy, and Tommy's a Nephite. He's not a Nephite, but he's like, Tommy has a better chance of going to heaven than Cody does. Cody can go to heaven, but Cody has to work a little bit harder than Tommy. And I asked why. He's like, oh, because you're a Lamanite. And she explained the story to me. My mom didn't like that. Yeah. And so I told her, my mom went down to the church, and I didn't go back to church since. I haven't been to the Mormon church in over 12, 15 years, easy.
Hey, shout out to Joseph Smith. Shout out to Joseph. Fucks with Joseph. Hey, but, that's crazy, but fucking...
See, I always wonder that, though, because imagine if you lose, imagine if, if I have the kids, because you've been segregated before, you've been pointed out by cops, I've been pointed out by cops, too.
I got pulled over for driving too close to the yellow line, Lord.
Yeah, I've been pulled over for walking by a store and they thought I was going to rob it. That was the first thing they did. I remember the first time, okay, this is actually a real thing, because I didn't really think of it as much, because when you grow up around brown people, you don't ever see white people around directly. The only white person I knew was my dad, and he didn't, he did say some racist shit, but, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, boy, that's the thing about white people. You never know, boy. When
they get too comfortable, that dark side can come out, and it's...
But everything. But, hey, and fun facts, I had an idea for you, though. I have to say this now, and go ahead, I'm going to put this on record. We're going to have to do, a tribal Tuesday or something, especially, Yo people, like I said, because like with black people, we all know black people's stories somewhat. We know a little bit of our history or whatever. But like with Native Americans, y'all, like black people, we had slavery, then Abraham Lincoln came, and then black people could play baseball, and then MLK got us rights. That's basically what we're taught. Native Americans is literally, they help people make corn and mashed potatoes, and then they gave them our land.
Yeah.
And that's y'all story.
The only thing I remember from history class in high school was the French Indian War was like the most we ever covered on the war. We didn't talk about the Trail of Tears. We didn't talk about the Long Walk, Navajo Long Walk. We didn't talk about anything like that at all. I'm like, my great-grandma was on the Long Walk. I'm like, I don't understand exactly why that was cut out from history. That was Kit Carson's expedition. You're going to cut that out? But they'll talk about Kit Carson, how he's an American hero, but they won't talk about, oh, by the way, he killed thousands of Native Americans' crew.
Like you need to like do like a tribal Tuesday or
I was
like
planning on doing something like that. I mean,
like just like a little couple, man, to get a little, cause like look at Oregon, like especially in Oregon, cause I was doing some research last night, so I'm reading about how like 80% of the Native Americans, there's over 50 something tribes in 1840. It was about 1848. They said there was about 50 something tribes. By the year 1850. Over 80% of those people were just gone.
Yeah.
Just like, and that's when they signed the Oregon Land Donation Act in 1850. And it was just a mass slaughter of Native American people. And it's like, it's so much history. And like I said, that's 50 something tribes that was here, and only 9 of them is recognized. Yeah, so you have 40 something tribes.
Yeah, we were fear-mongered to hell and back. The place I live, like that little town called Preston, Idaho, where we live at, or I live at, I guess. There's this little town.
Never going back.
About 10 minutes outside of that town, there is the Bear River Massacre. That was one of the biggest attacks in the American history of all time. And so what happened is basically they had a fear-mongering attack. One attack happened out of a tribe out of somewhere in the West Coast. So guess what happened? President retaliated, like you were saying as well, with that, and said
a lot of people died.
It's like no. it's like we gotta make a statement out of what can happen. So one of the tribes attacked, and so what happened was they sent the whole United States Army to eliminate the entire tribe, basically. And so the scary thing about like when you do stuff like that, or like when America talks about like history of that, you're losing culture, you're losing religion, you're losing everything.
And then especially like here in so like in Oregon, like so you go to Oregon, you'll see like it's never too hot, never too cold. Land is very fertile, which they attribute to the Native Americans who used to do the field burning stuff. So they're the reason why Oregon, there's trees everywhere and everything is so fertile. So basically the settlers found that out. They came over here, signed a bunch of treaties, and was like, all right, we're gonna let y'all keep y'all land, just let us move over there, you know. And they're like, all right, cool. Well, then the settlers was like, oh, they got all the good parts though, the one by the rivers, the ones that, you know, we can have the lakes and all that stuff, so we want that. So what they did was start just raping, killing, you know, doing whatever to the Native Americans until they finally retaliated. As soon as they retaliated, see, I told you they were the monsters. And then they killed everybody. And that was their justification for it.
Yeah, I agree. And
it's crazy.
And the scary thing about that
over and over again it happens.
And so it's like the one thing it pissed me off about is the whole, like you're talking about cultural appropriation. Like Native Americans are culturally appropriated.
Yeah, costume.
Like exactly, we a mascot, we are a costume, we're a tattoo identity.
I ain't even gonna lie, I didn't even know y'all tribe stuff was real.
Yeah.
I literally didn't know it was like
a whole tribal council, everything.
Like when I used to see like the dream catchers, like, or even like the big, like the chiefs.
Headdresses?
Yeah, or like the hats or whatever. Yeah. But what is it called?
The headdress.
I call it headdresses. But yeah, I just think it as a costume. I never in my mind pictured 10,000 strong warriors wearing that. You know, like, or
and a lot of things, like people who wear those stuff. Like it's why I don't understand like how some schools get away with it. Like schools like the one in Preston, the Preston Indians, what the school name is.
Yeah.
And so the team itself, they have their mascot dressed in a headdress, riding around a horse, some white chick going, I'm like, well, you don't understand exactly how insensitive that really is. And they're like, well, we can do it. I'm like, okay, so Victoria's Secret can't do it. NFL can't do it. What makes you think you can do it? And so they think, oh, whatever, it's fine. And I'm like, no. I'm like, to the point where how many struggles can Native Americans go through? We're the highest percent capita of getting shot by police, higher than blacks, higher than whites, higher than Mexicans. We're the lowest percentage of minority itself. The reservations are running rampant. A lot of them are terrible to the point where I don't want to go back because I've seen shit go down there. My mom's seen shit go down there. Our whole family lived on the reservation.
But so my question, because like I have thought about this many nights too, because like when you look at like the African American culture, like when you hear like Donald Trump, he always talk about the same 3 goddamn hoods: St. Louis, Southside Chicago, like same ones over and over. But like so like black people, we're kind of the same in a way with Native Americans, where like black people are like a lost tribe though, because like they just took our religion and everything, like they did with many Native Americans too. So basically, we're just like one big culture with a blank slate, where Native Americans, y'all still are kind of like bigger pieces of the puzzle that's spread out. You know what I'm saying? So like, what do you think needs to happen for like you said, because there's Native Americans got the highest rate of getting shot by police.
Yeah,
I have never seen that anywhere. Not on CNN.
No, they don't talk about it.
What do Native American people as a unit, not just Cherokees, Navajos, you know?
Yeah, just as a whole.
What do they got to do to elevate themselves in America's eyes?
I mean, it's more or less we need to basically get our platform out. We need more, like, we don't have any advocates out there that are large, and people who are large themselves don't really advocate a lot or try protecting what we have. Like Adam Beach is Native American from Canada, and he talks, and he isn't. I don't see anything advocating from him at all. Only people who are advocating for us are white people sometimes, and it's only the white people who like we don't really want to hear it from directly. We want to like have a Native American speaker as well with that. So that's why when they had the Navajo the Navajo code talker at the White House, when he gave that big speech and everyone said it's presidential, we need more people like that who are willing to work and show exactly that. No, we're not all drunks. No, we're all not savages still.
So say like, okay, say somehow you became the president, or you got another Cherokee man, but not forget that you're the president, right? So like, just how like white people do when they're the president, they gonna look out for Bill and Steve. They know Bill and Steve, you know, like, hey, Hernandez, we gonna get to you, but Steve need help right now. But so like, I'd imagine if you're the president, you gotta somewhat do the same thing to your people. What would you do to like?
To like bring up to show exactly why Native Americans are still worthy.
Not even to show them, to like put them on a prestige. Like when you think of like Chinese people, you don't think of drunks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you think of Arab people, you think of gas stations working. You don't think of people or blowing up bombs. Depends on where you at. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like where can you get Native Americans, like elevate them to that status, you know? Like
I honestly don't know, because it comes down to it's a lot of things on it, because I mean it's more or less we need to stop being made fun of to the point where we're not that joke anymore, because you got to think when everything you do can be denounced down to a joke, it ruins exactly what message you're trying to send out. So when people think Native Americans are still this savage tribe, or Native Americans are still these weird people who live out in these little reservations, or especially people who live near reservations, they understand exactly how bad they can be. And so it's like when you need to change that image, then so it's hard to change the image.
Okay, so you the president right now. You got 1 million of your people. They all been struggling for a long time, and this is their land. Like I said, like Portland, during that Land Donation Act, the Indians donated all of Portland. For nothing too. Quite nice of them. So those millions of people that need your help, would you think like education? Yeah. Like you think they need to just get educated more, or do you think they need to
rework everything? But that's more or less up to the tribes as well, because it's a sovereign nation. So the issue is like we need to talk to them. We need to work out with them. See exactly.
So when you say sovereign nation, do you mean like just like each tribe is a sovereign nation?
Each reservation has its own sovereign nation.
So what's a sovereign nation?
So sovereign nation is they don't have to abide by all the United States laws directly. So they have their own set of rules and laws, kind of like a giant county, kind of. Okay. But it's like they don't follow the same tax rules. They don't follow a lot of the things. Like that's why if you in Idaho, you can go to the Fort Hall reservation, and that one doesn't have any taxes. So you can go up there, you can buy a carton of cigarettes for like $30 compared to like $50 in Preston. It's just more or less like it's its own little it's its own little government.
Who made it? They can't drink on the reservation. Who made that law?
I don't know, honestly. It could be a lot of things. I know because
I wonder if they passed that law, or was that the United States government?
I can guarantee it was us, because it was the point where we know it's a problem too, and that's why we try to eliminate the problem. But the only issue is
is there's no way of putting that product into effect.
And that's another thing, because I just got done reading a book called The Higher Price. It's by Dr. Carl Hartz. Great book. He's a neuroscientist with dreadlocks, black dude with dreadlocks. But he was talking about how, like, what we try to do in America for, let's just say, opioid problems or alcohol problems, marijuana, we just try to treat it like a criminal offense and outright ban it. Yeah. When he, like, the most of the problems, like, why are they drinking, though? Are they just drinking because they want to get drunk? They just smoking crack because they just like to smoke crack. But they were like, especially in Europe where they did experiments as far as, like, they opened up a clinic where you can go every day and you can get a dose of heroin, but you have to take it there and you can't take it out. But you can buy it and use it there, right? Nobody in 5 years has stayed for over a year. Because also when they gave them their drugs, after, they also gave them a number of a psychologist. They gave them a number of a therapist they could talk to. They gave them, like, if they need, like, a medical procedure or they stressed about rent, stuff like that, they helped them out. And almost all of them got off. So most of the time, alcohol, and same thing with crack. They say that's why crack ruined the hood. Like the hood was a great place to be in the 50s.
Yeah.
In the 40s. Like black people were just lavish doctors and lawyers in the 30s and the 20s. Like, no, like we been poor. We been barely making it by, but you want to blame it on the substance. So you could take the substance away and guess what? I still can't pay rent next month. I still can't afford to send my kid to school.
Yeah, people don't know people don't know what you're willing to do when you're broke. Like, if you're broke at all, like, it's scary. Like, I mean, if you can't buy diapers, you can't buy food, you're going to do whatever you can to put that on your family's plate. You got to provide, and so that's why. And
on top of that, is people just don't know how to handle it, and then it's like, cause like your kids and younger people, they look up to older people. So every time, like my dad, like he got in an argument with my mom, he went to go drink. Every time he got fired from his job, he went to go drink. Yeah. Every time, so he said in my mind, this must be something in that bottle, because every time something go wrong, that's where he's running to.
Fix it, yeah.
So, and that's what your granddad did, that's what your dad did, that's what you did, and what you think your son gonna do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so you just create a little cycle. And why? But then you gotta ask why. Because guess what? When your granddad was a kid, was Native Americans having a great time? Same way like why my granddad drank. Black people weren't having a great time back in the 50s. And then your dad, was Native Americans having a great time in the 70s and the 80s?
Yeah.
No,
they weren't
so,
at all. In the 70s, they had
or your uncle or whoever, or whoever, yeah, like. So I think a lot with like the drugs and the alcohol problem, you got to look at the underlying. Don't look for what people are self-medicating with. Yeah. Look why they're self-medicating. Yeah. Like, that's what I think we need to do.
I mean, it's the issue is like the reservations, they're poor. That's the issue. And I don't know exactly how you'd fix that part. I mean, I would say like we can do trades with that because there's a lot of ores for like mining and stuff like that out on the reservations, but it's like not all reservations are the same. All reservations have different landscapes or different properties that they can utilize.
So you think like maybe I need to just like assimilate into American culture?
Possibility, but I wouldn't want to directly. I mean, the only issue is like I would need to look more into why the Navajo cultures and like why the Native American reservations are having so much struggles on certain reservations.
Because you have casinos. Casinos bringing in millions, so y'all do have some great sources.
The Navajo reservation doesn't have a casino.
So now, is it banned on?
I don't know. I don't know if it's banned, but I know we don't have one.
They're tripping if they doing.
I don't know.
Exactly. I seen they actually they were trying to get marijuana legal.
Yeah. Or about Utah? Utah doesn't allow gambling, and that's a state law itself. And that since the state is part of the sovereign nation still, they still have to go by that state law. It's weird. I don't get why the sovereign nations had to go by certain things on that. But like if you're on the Ute reservation, they can't have a casino.
That could be the key right there. Just figuring out how, because like you can't. You can't fix something if you don't know how, like all the little intricate parts in it, so once you learn all the little details and how this worked, then you can be like, okay, it's worked like this, so maybe we can do this instead, so definitely be something worth looking into.
It is. Yeah. I want to look into more of it, because like I said, if we start doing those more Native American inspired like episodes once in a while, or just do like a history diagram of each reservation's tribe or something like that, that'd be interesting as well, just learn about.
Because it's pretty sad that most people history of like Native Americans come from like Pocahontas.
Yeah,
like that's where most of us, we like this dude John Smith. They were singing. It was a pretty good time. They had a happy marriage. Like, not to mention he was like 34 fucking, 12-year-old. But hey, put a nice jingly song over it.
Yeah, kill the savages, their skin red as hell.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
hey, drop that fire beat over it. That shit fire.
I don't know. It's the point where it's like, I get annoyed at this point almost when I see like a lot of females out there who got like the Navajo dream catchers if you're not native. Like I'm not
That
saying
culture
you can't,
appropriation.
I can't say I can't say it, you don't have the right to say it. I mean, obviously you might have some Native American in you, but the issue is you're like you were saying, like white people can always understand exactly our struggles, but they can't live our struggles directly. They're like in the classroom, but they have to watch the classroom compared to sitting in it.
On everything, and then you want to like I said, you like the like look at Miley Cyrus. J's on my feet, J's on my feet. Gold grill in her mouth and everything. She collect her check. She basically used her whole culture, and now then once she got done, she just like rap music is bad, and she's the same Miss Twerk herself. Boy, them hips is stiff. I don't know. She needs to loosen up them hip flexors. But yeah,
Miss foam roller.
But yeah, you know what I mean. So like they just like you said, treat your culture like a costume they can take on and off because they got the choice to take it off.
Yeah.
Where like I said, you can be like Black Lives Matter. You can easily just take off that Black Lives Matter shirt and throw on a Confederate shirt and just switch sides. Yeah. We don't have that option. No. We in it. Like
that's why I wear my tattoo out so proud because it says the net, which means the people in Navajo. And so like people ask me like, oh, what does that mean? I'll gladly explain. I'm like, yeah, exactly. This is my culture, and we need to like push this a little bit more. Yeah. Like I don't want you to think like, and that's why I'm so happy. Like that's the one thing that scares me is if I become successful, I don't want to push my own image bad because the thing is like I might be representing some other person themselves in the same boat. That's why it's scary when you hear like Native American, another Native American drunk drove and killed 15 people, or another Native American stabbed another person, another Native American locked a cop in the car and lit it on fire.
Yeah, because like white people don't gotta worry about that because like 100 white dudes can, or like let's just use it on a bigger scale, 1,000 white dudes can do whatever. You know, like commit a horrible crime, but then we can be like, there's 50 million of us that didn't do it. And we'd be like, okay, there's a lot that didn't. Where black people, if 1,000 do that, it's only a few million. So that 1,000 start to look like that's a big chunk of y'all.
And it gets worse every time the population goes down. Like Native Americans, we're not a big population in general. Like, so when we do something and act like that, like it only takes one or two. Like on 4th of July weekend 2 years ago, like was it six people were stabbed. On the Navajo reservation, 6 people were stabbed alone on a weekend for the 4th of July. And so it's like, I don't know how we can continue to think like, if I understand exactly like where they're coming from. I understand because I've been in situations where you've been so broke you had to do what you had to do to get money. And so it's scary to the point where when one person does bad, it affects the whole group. Uh-huh. And so, and that's exactly why, that's what Chris Rock choked you in on that. Black people versus the N-word. It's like there's no point in it. It's like even black people hate.
Yeah, it's just because like if you look at it on like a scale of 10, so say there's 4, like especially when you look at it on the scope of America, if it's 4 black dudes and one of us mess up, that's 25% of us. But if there's 20 white dudes and one of them mess up,
it's a percent of that, if that.
Yeah, like it's the same thing with Navajo. It's only 3 of y'all. Yeah. You know what I mean? And one of y'all messed up.
Other 2 gotta be bad. Exactly.
That's 33%.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So like our margin of error is way smaller.
Yeah. So I mean it just makes us look worse at that point. So it's like I hate it when I see like on the news another Navajo or another Native American did this, something like that. And so it's like you don't even see it, but it's like when you start following like your local outlets like that. Like I still follow the Navajo Times in the reservation because I want to know what the thing's going on. But it's like it gets depressing after a while because all you hear is the same story. Like a kid 2 or 3 years ago was mauled to death by dogs. When's the last time you heard of that?
Yeah.
Mauled to death by dogs.
That's like some Africa stuff.
Exactly. So this is on the reservation too. A little kid was walking through the street with his grandma.
Kind of like
exactly. So walking with his grandma, and guess what? She turned around for 5 seconds, and 5 dogs were mauling the kid and killed him. I'm like, these are things that shouldn't be happening in modern day society. But 75% of the Navajo reservation doesn't have paved roads, doesn't have running electricity, doesn't have running water.
What about Wi-Fi?
No, none.
Y'all got Wi-Fi?
Nah, fuck no. We don't have paved roads. Wow. The fuck you think?
I think that's
we don't have service down there. Like even
honestly,
like when last time I went down there and saw my Aunt Michelle. Like we were down there, I couldn't use my phone. I have T-Mobile. I had Verizon at that time too. I had Verizon, the best coverage in the world. But guess what? I couldn't use the fucking
people
bar.
Don't even count y'all.
Exactly. Like we a third world country.
We cover everybody.
We're a third world country inside North America, but people like ignore it, and to the point where it's like, oh, but guess what? I'm gonna wear this headdress because I support you. Okay, what are you gonna do to support us? And it's all they're going to do is like, I'll just send a hashtag out. No, I'm like, we need to understand exactly. I'm not a costume. Like, I'm not something that you can just like put on and off on that part. You can't really push me.
I think I need to become like athletic or something. That's why we care about black people.
I know, but the issue is like, there's no.
we can jump high.
That's the issue. We have no way out. We have no way out of the reservation. It's free living, pretty much.
It's something like it got to be something out there probably already where they trying to.
I mean, there's a Navajo death metal band that's blowing up in Europe right now. So
I don't know. I don't know if the word death metal is gonna.
But I mean, it's something. They're a band. Don't worry, you know me. I listen to heavy metal stuff too.
But
that metal.
We trying to make a real strive. We trying to get y'all paid roses and doctors. Like I don't think death metal.
I know.
That's
the reason I'm trying to put so much into
right.
this podcast, honestly, because it doesn't come to this one actually doesn't come down to ego at all. I'd rather. I always tell my mom and all that. Like, if I got enough money, I'd pay off my mom's house, my dad's house, send my little brother and sister to school, and at that point, anything else I have after, I'd buy what I want and what I need, and then the majority of it would probably be donated back to the reservation because a lot of it needs to come back.
Because I always said and think like if I could come up on $1 million, what would I do? Because like I said, I come from like poor circumstances and stuff too, so I always think like. Because you hear, like, of course, like, people who win the lottery every year, they go broke within 2-3 years, 80%, some stupid number like that. So it's like, money ain't always the issue. You know what I mean? Like, of course, it is the issue in some sense. No, but I guess the better statement is money isn't always the final solution.
No, it's not. Because and that's the thing is, like, if I donated money to the Navajo reservation, I would be more or less concerned of the council because the council's been known to be corrupt.
I was about to say, is liver damage just going to go up?
No, it's scary. It's not even that. The thing is, like, I'd put money into the schools directly. I'd put money into building paved roads or building things that will help us bring us to the world that we need so we can get that thing because we don't have football teams as much. We don't have all that stuff like you guys do.
And another thing is fucking they gave because we're y'all like black people, they just threw us in the ghettos where they threw y'all on like the worst plot of land they could possibly like where don't we want to go?
And then they find it in the 70s that has
Boom.
Uranium.
Put
and
them
they're
there.
like, oh, okay, then we'll start mining
like what was that in North Dakota? They did that to the Indians.
Yeah, the oil.
it was the oil in North Dakota. Yeah,
they found it had oil in the ground. Like,
Y'all go over here. Y'all go here in this little dirty desert. Oh, that dirty desert got black gold under it.
Yeah, that's exactly what was in our reservation. They put us in this plot of land that can't grow food, and doesn't have very much water sources. But guess what they found out in the 70s? It has uranium. And it was in the 70s during that time, the Cold War.
And that's the thing about America is like they don't like fess up or not fess up, but they don't like in Germany how it's like illegal to fly like a Nazi flag.
Yeah.
But here you got the president,
fly Confederate flag and all that. Like how the statement was that in Germany they're scared, they're not proud of their culture. In America they are.
Yeah, they super proud of it. They call it heritage.
Yeah.
Like and it's so strange where it's like they don't have any. Like basically, like no regret really. It's like, yeah, we sorry what? It's it's basically like what they be doing. It's like, yeah, we slaved out for 280 years. What? We sorry.
Yeah.
We told you we sorry. Shit.
You're free, aren't you?
Yeah, you're free. Change that on you. What?
You ever see that on that John Oliver video he did? There's a video of the guy who was held the Confederate flag and the black dude was yelling at him. He's like, "Do you know what happened on that flag?" He's like, "My family died for this flag."
Oh,
he's like, they died. He's like, my grandpa died working on this farm for this flag. Who worked your guys' farm? As the black guy asked, and the white guy didn't respond for a second, and know what he responded back with?
What?
Do you know how much a slave cost back then? Worst spot, like worst way to respond ever.
I always argue with people with that. They be like, every time, like I tell anybody listening, and they be like, and they ever got to argue with somebody talking about the Confederate flag ain't racist. This is what you do. First of all, tell them that's not the battle flag that was flown in the 1860s. Okay, that's the first mistake. That Starchy and Hutch flag was made in like the 1940s and 50s when the civil rights movement was heating up. That's when they made that. So say, first of all, we ain't even talking about the same flags. So get on the same page. Second of all, tell them. Actually, what they say when they be like it's about heritage or whatever, and you be like, the heritage of what? And they be like,
they usually say, oh, it's for land. Okay, who's working the land?
Yeah, land. The government not telling us what to do. That's what it is.
It was all for tobacco. Who was picking the tobacco?
He was like,
I'm like, it's all based on slavery, and people don't understand. Like, no. Like, slavery is a very minute part of it. I'm like, bullshit. If it was a minute part, guess what? It was still in the fucking thing.
It was 70. It was like 70% of our total economic, product. But hey, it was a little bit. It hurt a little bit when they left. A little bit. That's why Alabama ain't recovered to this day. But it hurt a little bit.
I don't get it. Like the whole idea of everything like that. And it's hard to think of like any way to fix it because there's so much stopping.
I think honestly, legalization.
that's the common theme
do.
across the board of every state though. Every state says that except Idaho and Utah. I mean Utah even then. Utah's brought up to the point where they might put it on November ballot even if it gets enough petitions signed. And so they can't deny the medicinal purposes of it, especially like imagine someone in Congress, like what if your family member went through that situation? That's the thing you need to put yourself into, and that's where a lot of people don't like to put those situations in. Like, what if your kid was during a school shooting?
On everything.
And you're like, I don't want to think about that, but I'm like, that's the thing you need to think of is the issue, because what if that does happen? That's the scary part of what if.
I know. 'Cause I remember they were talking about. I had a little debate one day talking about like free healthcare and then dude how it's ridiculous that people want the government to pay for healthcare and how people should like get up and work a double shift if they want to get chemotherapy. And I was telling them, I was like,
you can't work a double shift.
And I was like, so what about if your kids suddenly get cancer, like happens every day in America, multiple times a day? And it's like, what if that happens to your child and now you stuck with $120,000 hospital bill? You shouldn't pay anything. Or the government shouldn't pay anything for that. You should be you should cover that whole tab by yourself.
Yeah, you should go into debt. You should be $100,000 in debt. Live out of you sell your house pretty much everything.
And he was just like, I don't know. Like I'll make it work. I'm like, no, you won't.
No.
And then he still went to go vote for Trump instead of like a Bernie Sanders, and he's a poor guy. Like, and that's the thing about Donald Trump. It's amazing as hell. But yeah, like, I don't know. You get people to vote against their best interests, and people own biases and, false way of thinking. And then, that little group mentality.
Oh, yeah.
You want to think like the group and stuff. So, yeah, that's why we got a long way to go. But, hey, this country, I don't know. Like I said, we only got like another 2 years. I think the country's looking up, though. I think it is,
I know it's a very common thing because how many states are legalizing it now? California, Washington, Oregon, Colorado, Florida looked at it as well. But even then again, Florida also deemed porn as a safety hazard in the whole state. So,
but then you look at California, who said they're supposed to make $20 billion, which is more than every legalized state combined.
That's insane.
California supposed to make that this year alone. So if you're talking about like the what is it? What's the unemployment rate right now? Whatever it is, 10-12%, whatever. Like that could literally dwindle that down to 3 or 4 just because like look at hemp and all the properties you can do with hemp. Like you talking about like Henry Ford was making hemp cars in 1908.
Yeah,
so like you talking about a whole industrial, a whole industry, and then not to mention hemp rope. Then like I said, all the medicine, the medicinal properties of it, and then like let people get high. Like some people just need to get high. Some people dicks. Assholes. You need to calm down.
I can see that.
People just be aggressive.
I mean, I know I definitely probably would have benefited my mom and all that when she had her like leg broken. Probably would have been for in that situation.
And then also in this like with especially with like the opioid epidemic going out.
It would help with pain management mainly is a lot of it.
Yeah, definitely. And people ain't got to pop Oxycontin.
Like Percocets, everything.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't realize that like Oxycontins and Percocets and all that, or even like an Adderall, that's meth and heroin.
Yeah, it is.
With Tylenol in it, and you can call it a medicine. Like that's all it is. You Pablo, with an AK-47 not selling it. Like Greg with a nice suit who drives a BMW, he's selling it to you. So therefore, here, pass it out like Skittles.
Yeah.
100,000 something people dying or becoming addicted every year over it. Like families been torn apart. So it's like, I think that's one of them things that,
Yeah. Damn, my vape just died. No, but I agree. I mean, there's a lot of things on that. Like, I agree with the idea of legalization itself. Obviously, I don't really do anything like that because it's just not my forte, honestly. It's more or less, I'd rather see what it can do, because if it can help us tax-wise, freaking help us.
Native Americans.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, any tribe listening right now, I'm trying to tell you, a pound of potatoes going for $3, a pound of Kush can go for $2,500. I'm just saying there's a market there. Cody ain't got the answers, I do. Hey, I'm trying to tell you, you break it down, you sell it for cheaper. Hey, we gonna get y'all elevated. Hey, it's gonna be golden roads. Hey, I'm trying to tell you, it's the ticket. It's the ticket. I think that's the future. Any country that like legalize it, especially like in this country that we're in right now, this is an entrepreneur country. Like, this is number one entrepreneurship in the world. Like, if you have a dream,
TV shows based on Shark Tank, for God's sake.
Yeah, you come here with a dream.
So, yeah.
And like the dreams and like the possibilities of it, and not to mention they get a lot of people out of prison.
Yeah, it would save a lot. Like, even that's what California was talking about. They said they were going to do like a legal form itself, so you can remove all your weed related charges you would get accumulated over those times as well. So imagine all those little tickets. Like, you got that ticket in Utah about.
Yeah, let me tell you that. Let me tell that story.
Yeah,
let me tell that story. Hey, so check this out. So in Utah, all right, look. I'm driving home from work. I got a grinder with like half a gram of weed in it, right? I get pulled over. You know, he like, how you doing? I smell weed. No, you don't. He was like, yes, I do. No, you don't. He was like, I'm pretty sure. Wait right here. I'm going to call backup. Backup comes, right? It's about 5, 6 of them. They make me get out the car. Anyway, so like I ended up going to jail, getting locked up. So, I got to do weekend, so it's a Saturday. I get called out of my bunk or whatever, and I'm sitting at the table, and there's another black guy, and of course, you know, we all cool. So I go sit and eat lunch with this black dude. What's up? Chop it up with him for a little bit, and then we, you know, sat with him a few times. And then I got out. I go look him up. What he in for? He in there for murder. And then I'm just sitting up there like, I just wanted to smoke, and I was getting my car fixed, and I was about to go to school later on that day. But now I got to sit here with a murderer because I had a grinder with half a gram. And that happens every year where people go to jail, get beat up, all sorts of stuff, get out, can't get a job, can't get a job. Then you can't get an apartment because they don't let people who do drugs stay there. And then what you going to do? You going to turn back, you know, or you going that maybe you was doing drugs because you was already struggling financially. Now you can't get a job. What you going to do? More drugs, you know? So you just create a cycle. And you know, so that's my biggest reason why I hope to see it legalized all throughout the country. And it ain't going to happen during Trump because we got the little Keebler elf Jeff Sessions, but it ain't going to happen during Trump. But, hey, The Rock, if you listening, Rock, CBD, man, is great. Okay, help you after a hard workout. Hey, legalize it. Hey, I support you.
The Rock itself, like, have you ever seen the TV show The Ballers?
Nah, I haven't.
Oh, great show. It's actually interesting because you'll see him like in the show smoke weed. I'm like, catch me off guard. I'm like, a man that big smoking. I don't know why.
And then like you've seen all the shops out here. Oh my god!
I've never seen a chubby stoner here. Surprisingly.
Yeah,
and it's like that's where it ruins the idea of like what they built up. Like, oh, if you're stoned, you're gonna be lazy all day.
And another interesting thing, if you look at like any drug laws and why they was passed, most of them were passed because of racist reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, whether in the 1937 Marijuana Tax Stamp Act, because
with mandatory minimums and everything.
Well, yeah, that was way later on, but in 1937 they passed the Marijuana Tax Stamp Law, which basically weed is not illegal. Weed without a stamp is illegal. So that's why if you come to Oregon or you come to Colorado, they'll just give you a stamp with your weed, and therefore what you're smoking is now illegal. So, but they passed that because marijuana gives Mexicans superhuman strength, and it makes white women attracted to Negroes. Or then you look at like in the 1920s and the 19-teens.
That's like the greatest reason though. That's
yeah,
it's like ridiculous reason. That just sounds hilarious.
John A. Anslinger, you can look him up, or John H. Anslinger, I believe is the right name. He's the dude who presented the case, and he's the one who said that. Yeah, bro, he gave the argument in front of the Supreme Court, and it was like, I don't want Beverly slobbering all over that. Oh no. Oh no. But and then even like you got the opiates with the Chinese and the railroad, same way. Like they thought that their daughters can go into the little opium dens, you know, have a great time. They ain't want that. You know, and even like cocaine, that used to be medicine. Like you go to the dentist, they rubbing cocaine on your jaws and stuff. Shit. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
You're talking about your story initially, like why when you were locked up and how it scared you, how you be locked up for a small drug charge, but you can be locked up with a murderer itself, and that's what's scary about it. And so you're talking about like how
we need to definitely quit dehumanizing people and stuff, you know, like quit making people, if you got an alcohol problem, you got that, you just like the lowest scum of the earth and throw them away. Or, you know, we need to make us a real solution, like a real, like we got to start treating it like you said, like a mental problem, not like a Yeah.
But that stems down from a lot of things. I mean, that stems down from our mental health issues. We don't treat people with mental health issues correctly. We just give them pills and then they're fine. That's all it is. We think like, oh, okay, just take your pills and that's it. People avoid psychiatry because we made fun of psychiatry for so long. We immediately think head doctors aren't real doctors. But it's like, oh, okay, but I have a real problem I need to talk about. Well, bottle up.
I know, and just talking about fields that we didn't think was real. Sociology, I just was really reading this one report that really opened my eyes on sociology, because I took and I was like, oh, this is kind of BS. But it was one that was real interesting about kids. And they said they did an experiment with 2 families, black and white, middle class, and 2 more families, black and white and poor class. And then they noticed how they recorded over 2 months, spent like 5 days a week with them, how they interacted with their kids. And what they learned was basically middle class people, they say an average of 5,000 more words a week to their kids than poor class people. And they also say for every no, they give them like 4 positive things. So for every yelling, and then with poor people, it's the opposite way around. For every 4 things they say negative to them, they give them 1 thing positive. And and I was reading and I was like, what? How could that be? And then they show how basically, like, let's say our work schedule, right? Yeah. So like if your mom, she got to work, 2 jobs, working hard and stuff, and that's all she do. And not to mention, let's say she going to school, she has no time. She just paying bills and doing what she got to do. Only time she got time for you is you mess up at school, and now she got to take off work. Or if she got to go get some sleep, but now she got to wake up because you done got woke up and you done got in trouble somewhere. She got to come get you. So or even like or if you're like a little kid, like only time they really coming out their room because they're busy is, what the hell y'all breaking? You know what I mean? Because they just don't have time, you know, where poor or with middle class people, like say like a doctor or a physical therapist who chooses their own schedule, they got time to sit down and, interact on top of when you're, besides when they're getting in trouble. And on top of that, and as far as the words go, that like college educated people just know more words than
agreed.
Poor people.
It's just a vocabulary difference.
Yeah,
on that part.
And they said before a middle class kid, so a middle class and a poor kid to start school, that middle class kid will hear almost 1 million more words said than the poor child. So, and it just sets them up, So it's like.
You
didn't talk to like poor people, like, or not even just poor people who's not doing that good financially, and they got the same subject matter. They got they got 2-3 topics. Yeah. And that's all they can talk about. Yeah, fuck the police, or they got sports. Yeah. Yeah, that's all they can talk about is sports, and so they got a very narrow mind.
All day long.
So that was pretty interesting. And then they showed how it just translates and how like it just. I don't know. It just made me think. It just open up my eyes and was like, oh shit. Because I remember like being a kid, like that was my mom. She was too busy to sit down for 3 hours and do homework with me. No, she been working all day. She tired, or she gone somewhere or something. So yeah, it's pretty interesting how that could affect kids and stuff, or make kids unprepared for the real world. Yeah. So like they don't know how to communicate. So and therefore, when you don't know how to communicate, you can't get your point across with words. You get it across with violence. And then it's kind of like a little cycle it creates, It
becomes its own cycle. It's scary.
Because you know how like you talking and you got something on the tip of your tongue, but you like, this is really important. I need to convey this message in a very articulate way. But you don't even know what the fuck the word articulate mean. You know what I'm saying? So so you can't even say the word articulate. So you like, so I was like,
So you need to try conveying your point in a better way.
Because I'd have been dumb, and then I'd been through the process I want to learn. I remember just being stupid. It was just somebody, because you met a dude, or you want to do yourself, somebody who's just good with words. Some scary shit. There's like somebody who's good with words, comebacks quick, saying words you don't even know, but people laughing. You fuck did that mean? Like that's some scary shit.
That's the worst part, when you get roasted by a smart guy.
Oh yeah.
And they say something and the whole room's smart. Like they say something like, "Oh, okay.
Man, wait till I get my Google Translate out. All right, let me get my Google. Let me get my dictionary app out. Hold on, I'll be right back."
6 syllables in it.
Yeah, everything.
Like flipping your book, like what the fuck does it start with an S? The P is silent.
I was used that the other day, like my dumb ass. He was like, "Uncultured swine." Took me like 4 minutes. I was like, hold on. I was like, swine was a swine. Oh, that's a pig. What's a pig? Oh, fuck. 20 million Muslims don't even eat pigs because that's such a dirty animal. Fuck you! Like, it takes you so long to process that shit. Like, hey, that shit's scary. With everything.
All right. You want to have that jog?
All right, go ahead. What time is it? About time to get up out of here?
It's about 3:40.
All right, yeah, definitely. Let's go ahead and do that.
All right. And this is from Eugene, Oregon, Tracktown, USA. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Hey, this is Mack from All the Way Gray. I hope you enjoyed that podcast. There will be many more to come, and apologize for missing.
All right, guys. Thank you again for listening to this. Hope you have a great day, and that's from All the Way Gray.